You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
What's up, punters and dribblers? Welcome back to the Hello Sport Podcast. Home of unqualified opinion and unwavering DILFness. Joined as always by my good friend Edward Simpson. He was with us last week when we did the Kenty podcast, taking the world by storm. But this is the DILFs and that pod with Tom and Eddy. Rebrand.
Yeah, we've rebranded. Like, fuck it.
Yeah.
We're DILFs now.
Yeah.
So the world's different.
Yeah. Punters and DILFs.
Punters and DILFs. Where's punters and dribblers? Shut up.
Shut up.
It's not about that. It's about me being a DILF.
Yeah.
I'm a DILF.
Yeah.
You know, every time I open my eyes of a day now, of a morn, I open them as a DILF.
Yeah.
And DILFs do things different, Tom.
They do, and they observe the world differently.
This DILF got up at 9:30. Why? Because DILF was up all night.
Oh, DILF slept in.
DILF slept in.
But
Me and
DILF up
Suki-
all night.
Well, up more than usual. She's been get up once in the wee hours. It was 2 last night. And she...
For how long?
Couple of hours.
Yeah.
No, an hour each. So 2 hours total.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
The more the better.
Yeah.
The more the merrier. Go, Suki, go. I think she's doing it for me. Honestly.
She's doing it for you. She's all over the map. She's all over the map. Like, some nights she's fucking great. Then the other night, like last night, she slept from like 6 to 11 p.m.
Yeah.
She was just doing her own thing.
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck.
But then we had a nice sleep in this morning, man, Suki.
That's nice.
Mum was out eating breakfast and shit.
That's nice.
We were just chilling.
You're chilling.
It was good. Well, all I'm saying is...
Was she up to feed last night?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. I just wasn't sure she was up just fucking, just yarning.
No.
Like her dad in the wee hours, she just wanted to spin yarns.
Yeah, no, she wasn't. I've fucking swaddled her out of that. Swaddle her on the tit, then back to bed. We're not fucking around, Suki.
No.
Bedtime.
Yeah, it's
and I need
wee hours.
Sleep.
Yeah, well, you're not getting your 8.
I'm not getting my 8, but I'm not getting nothing
traditional
either.
8.
I'm not getting nothing, so I can't complain.
No.
Kid's not complaining. Because if I complain, Sebo will cut me cock off.
Sebo will
I'm getting
come
a lot
in.
more. I'm getting a lot more than Sebo ever did. That's for sure. Now,
Probably Sebo still is.
and probably Sebo still is. I don't know how the man is alive. No. It's not about Sebo. It's about me.
No, it isn't.
I'm a DILF.
Can you give us a bit of insight into how you became a DILF? And
Yep.
I'm not talking about, well, if you want to tell us how it started.
Yeah, went down to Tassie.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to get that.
Okay.
So, we are at Thursday night,
Yep.
March 6th.
Stream with...
Stream with Mitchell Pearce. So, we're at home. We'd gone for a walk. We're like 3 days or 4 days overdue at this point. Nothing crazy for a first, Pretty stock stand.
Yep.
Went for a walk. She's feeling pretty good. Get home. We have a feed, and then some cramps start kicking in. In earnest. Yep. Not in earnest, but this cramps.
Sincere cramps.
Yes.
But not of the most sincere variety.
Not of the most sincere variety of, hello, do you remember your period variety?
Yeah. You ever heard of your period? You might have forgot
Which you
about
haven't had for 9 months, but I'm back.
Yeah.
But I'm not.
But I'm not. But that's just what it feels like.
That's right. Now, we are and are. Does Eddy go grind his dick to the bone, give the punter and the dribbler content for free? Whinging cunts. And and just act as if it's all cool.
Yeah. Does Eddy go stream?
Does Eddy go stream? The answer became a yes, Tom, because if it was like not the real thing and I'm not at the stream, then you're just getting a lot of questions. You're getting a lot of messages. You're getting a lot of interest.
Why wasn't Eddy on the stream? What's happening?
Where's Eddy? Like, we weren't into that. We didn't want it. So I go to the stream, but I'm also messaging her throughout, making sure she's okay. Sending my baby girl some things via Uber Eats.
Oh, that's nice.
I was on the job, mate. Heat packs, coconut water, etc.
Heat packs via Uber Eats?
Yeah.
Get out. You can send heat packs?
Mate, you can get anything on Uber Eats. This isn't an ad for Uber Eats.
No, it's not. Not sponsors, unless you want to. But
Unless you want to, because you got a friend in me, that's for sure.
I didn't know that.
Get home, and it's become clear, Tom, that she is in pre-labour. That's a fact. Fact of life. So we just trying to get her comfortable now. She didn't want to sleep in the bed because it was too soft. So we made like a little camp on the ground.
We need a Goldilocks zone here.
Yeah. Not too hard, not too soft. What is that?
Right.
Is that like a bear? Was there a
Goldilocks,
bear?
3 bears.
3 bears, porridge.
Porridge too hot. Porridge too cold. Porridge just right. Chair too big. Chair too small. Chair just right. Bed too soft. Bed too hard.
How's that end?
They come home. They find Goldilocks sleeping in the bed, and they're like, what the fuck?
Do they eat her?
They should have eaten her. And you know what? Maybe that story has softened over the years. I think there was probably time was Goldilocks got mauled to death, ass first. But that's just the way bears do it, by the way. That wasn't something.
Do bears go from the arse?
Bears eat ass first.
Is that right?
Yeah, they do.
You got a bit of bear about you.
Listen, if the mood strikes, Eddie, if the mood strikes. But Goldilocks just runs away from the house, and the bear's like, that was weird.
And that's how it ends.
Yep.
Shit, so I'm going to get some surprises with these stories, I think.
Well, you're going to get reminded nicely. Some pleasant surprises. Anyway.
So, we're on the floor now, punters and dribblers, because bed too soft. But also floor too hard. So I've got to go around softening it slightly.
Yeah.
Yoga mats, doonas. Doonas and yoga mats and doonas. That's how I did it.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm on the floor with her because I'm a champion husband.
Well, it'd be fucked if you'd left her on the floor and you were on the soft bed.
She said, you can go to the bed. I go, no.
That was a test.
We're in this together.
Yep.
And I passed with flying colours. Little bit of shower work, back to the bed. We got the tens machine on at like 2 in the morning. Tens machines, for you punters and dribblers that don't know what you're talking about, basically pump like electrical currents.
It's like electrical. It's like you can turn. It's like little pads you stick on, and then you can dial up the electromagnetic pulses coming through. Yep. And you bang those on when a cramp happens, and it's meant to sort of like almost distract you from the fucking pain, or like
rewires the brain or the pathways or something. Listen, it's medical. It's medical, and it's going to go above a lot of your heads. So
we're not DILFs on that.
So we'll just press on. We get through the night, surprisingly quite quickly. I don't know. Time seemed to fly by for me, at least. But she said the same thing, so that was good. Don't know if she got much sleep. If she did, it was not it was fuck all. Like, was getting maybe nodding off in between contractions, but not really. Get to the morning, unsure of what the day's going to hold, Tom. Because we've just done, you've got to remember, we've done 12 hours till 6 in the morning.
And I mean, were you thinking this tonight is probably when it's going to happen? Because I would have thought that. I would have been like, well, fuck, because usually it happens at night. I wouldn't have been expecting the next day.
I was expecting that.
You're expecting the next day?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't expecting that night because a lot of first timers, it doesn't seem to happen that way.
No, but that's exactly what happened with Steph as well and Evie. It happen similar to you.
Yeah.
But I expected, I'm like, we're on here.
We were briefed. We were briefed and we were prepped for 2 nights in a day. That's what the doula prepped us for. So I was.
We've seen this, and this is what we plan for.
This is what we plan for.
This is what we do in the nets. This is what we do at practice.
This is what we do in the nets, baby. This is what putting the hours in amounts to. Preparation. So I'm on the blower to the doula. Listen, this is where we're at. What can we expect? She goes, well, the contractions may decrease during the day and you're likely to go into active labour tonight. I'm like, okay, great. They didn't decrease during the day. So that was great. Yeah. That was terrific.
That was great.
So then I'm thinking, well, how do I get my baby girl through to at least to tea, Tom? At least to tea.
We got to dig in and get to tea.
We got to dig in and get to tea, and then we got that third and final session where the ball's doing everything. Yeah. We're chasing 50. We've got one fucking man in the sheds. Like, it's tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
Real tight. But how do I get her through to tea, Tom? Because it's stinking hot, and we just got to see off this fucking new nutty.
Yeah.
So I'm on the job. In between contractions, blueberries, bit of coconut water, and then...
I hope you were giving them to her, not you. This isn't how you were coping.
No.
Were you just giving her like a blueberry at a time? Was this
couple of blueberries, and then I tried to get her some bliss balls into it. She wasn't loving the bliss ball. It took her like 12 hours to eat one bliss ball.
Okay,
that
right.
big. Anchorman playing in the background, just keeping things light and fluffy.
Things light, yeah.
Anchorman, Tropic Thunder got to run.
That's why you were talking about
Tropic Thunder got to run.
You're like, you got to watch that movie. And I'm like, right.
It is great, Tropic Thunder.
Yep.
Don't make them like that anymore, let me tell you.
No.
And back into the shower, on the ground, trying to get a rest. So just trying to get her to chill out. She'd sleep for like 4 minutes, then a contraction would come, she'd wake up, and on and on and on and on that went, Tom. But she was doing pretty well, to be honest. She's just staying in it, staying relaxed, asking me how long I think, and I'm like, we're just doing one contraction at a time here. That's all you have to get through, one contraction at a time. Trying to think, like, what would Ned Brockman do?
Like one foot in front of the other.
Well, you remember when he did that disgusting thing out at Homebush?
You mean like
1,000 miles?
Less than 6 months ago.
Exactly.
Yep.
Just one lap at a time, or one master lap at a time. Because you can't think big picture, otherwise you'd crumble.
Well, you'd melt under the weight of expectation.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to coach her through this thing. What would Ned do? I'm channeling Ned, obviously.
And I mean, listen, when Ned Brockman set out on that fateful 1,000-mile journey, I don't know whether for a second he would have envisaged that his name would come up during Labor. But that's where people need to draw. You know, it's like you don't need to just be a runner to draw inspiration from that man. You could just be in active Labor.
Just in active Labor. Just be a human being.
Just be a human being trying to squeeze a child out of you.
And that's the God's honest truth, Ned.
Yeah.
You were in my thoughts, baby. And I was drawing on your power and giving it to Elsa, who was just in stallion territory at this point, Tom. Just trucking, serious nut. Yeah. Wasn't complaining.
Back fence sort of
Wasn't
stuff.
Whinging. Yeah. Just a couple of fucks here and there, which I think's play on, all things considered.
Potty mouth, but obviously they play on.
Potty mouth, exactly. I mean, we don't condone swearing.
Little vulgar.
Little tiny bit vulgar, especially out of a woman, Tom.
That's exactly right.
So, we get to 3:20 p.m. Remember it specifically. Waters break. Now, okay.
Where? Like, were you somewhere?
On the Doona.
Okay, right.
On the Doona. Get her into the shower. We had a good little setup in there. She had like a towel for her knees, and then we had like this outdoor table, like this little, you know the thing the girls ate?
Where they smashed
breakfast
the bowl
Yeah. And then she had like a towel, and she leaned on that. So she had a good little setup and just had water just pumping onto the back. Got her in there, messaged the doula. She's like, I'll be there in an hour or so. And then it starts to get hectic. She goes into what they call active labour, punters and dribblers. And
that's where the baby starts moving.
That's where I probably lost my ability to have much of a role. Like before that, I'd been coaching well, I'd been feeding well, which I can still do. A blueberry guy, I'm a coconut water guy. Yeah. I'm morale. Yeah. I'm hype.
You're anchor man.
I'm anchor man. I'm keeper in the moment. I'm how funny's Tropic Thunder. She's not watching it by, but I'm telling her how funny it is.
How funny it is. Ned Brockman.
You know, think about what Ned did, all that stuff. I'm hype, man. And I think doing a pretty good job.
Well, she said you did a good job.
Thanks. You get to active labour and she's just hanging on to me then. I'm just there to be held, essentially. Yeah.
And you say things, but they're not really getting
she's not really listening.
No. As is all right.
It got to a point, Tom, where she's almost going into a trance a little bit. It looked like she was munted, like sort of head rolling back into her eyes rolling back into her head. She's sort of like swaying and shit in between contractions, just a lot. But again, just on she went. Where's the doula? Oh, she's coming. How long are we going to do this for? Doesn't matter. Like,
wait, stop asking questions.
Well, it's just like I'm not going to tell you because there's no answer. No. And also, I'm not going to say like 6 hours, 10 hours. Like it's just like one contraction after the next. Yeah. And she's just, then it starts to get more vocal and more intense. But again, not really, she's not rattled. She's not complaining. She's just going with it.
Just going through it.
And it gets wilder and wilder. And you just, I don't know what your experience of it was, but I didn't love that part. As in, because I'm like, she's clearly in like a lot of fucking pain here.
Bro,
and it just rattles you a bit, you know?
They're screaming. You're like, Jesus. This sounds fucking painful.
Serious, and it was surreal. Super surreal.
Yeah, no, the whole thing, it's like, it's the whole thing's a bit trancy. Obviously, they're fully trancy, but the whole vibe, you're like, what is going on?
Oh, primal stuff.
Yeah,
again,
primal shit.
We're on the floor, punters and dribblers.
Exactly.
You know, when was the last time he's laid on the floor?
Couldn't tell you.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it's a good point.
And obviously, it's modern day primal. Like we're on a nice carpet and stuff.
You're on a nice yoga mats. Yoga mats and some nice goose down.
Yeah, well, listen, we're laying on goose down, but there's still a bit of cave about it.
Well, you're using animal feathers, you know.
Yeah, killed fucking 700 geese, and then we were comfortable.
But we were primal.
Well, at least I was. But we were primal. But we were primal. But you can be primal in comfort. Yeah, I want that on the public.
Yeah, and so you should.
And so I should. So at this point, we're mostly in the shower. Just shower, hot water onto the back, just taking its toll. The doula gets there. She's assessing her. She's doing really well. Contractions weren't a minute. They weren't a minute, which they usually are, but it didn't matter in the end. And she's just progressing really quickly. Apparently in the last sort of half an hour at home, she went from making sounds that you make, an hour in, to making sounds like she's pushing, which is they're usually hours apart, those sounds. And she's crossing these milestones like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
She goes, is the car packed? I go, no, it's not. Car's not packed.
Edward.
Bag was packed.
Edward.
Car wasn't packed. Didn't cross my mind.
Fuck.
Didn't cross my mind once.
In fairness, you just need the bag, the car.
Yeah, but then I'm getting fucking flustered. Shit, where's the bag? Have I forgotten anything? Blah, 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 blah. Get it down. There's shit in the back of the car. Had to get that out, put it in.
Oh, there was shit in the car.
And then What
have you been doing? You've had fucking 2 days, son.
Again. Oh, it didn't cross my mind. I was in the moment, Tom. I'm just trying to get it from one contraction to the next. We have to get her downstairs. That was tough. Getting her downstairs, she was just screaming, essentially. Not screaming. That's not the right word, because when you hear a screaming, you think of a specific sound.
It's like deep moaning and
it's like guttural
screams.
Primal cave shit.
Yeah, cave screams.
Get her down to the car.
Screams.
I hop in the car, turn it on. Bang, garage door doesn't open. What the fuck is going on? Why is the garage door open? Holy shit. Then I start to panic. If I can't get this garage door open, where's the ute? I don't know where the ute's parked. I've got no idea where I've parked the ute. And then I'm like, how would I even get her into the ute?
Put her in the tray.
Took her ages. It took me ages to get her into the car. So I have to hop out. I've ended up not having a battery in it, but I'm not seeing that in my panic. The battery had fallen out of it, Tom. The battery had fallen out of all times for the battery.
How'd you get it open?
I had to do it manually. And I was just
What were you planning to do? If the garage door doesn't open and you know the ute is, were you planning on trying to get her to the ute, or were you going to do like a Dwayne The Rock Johnson and just rip the door open?
Well, because the doula... well, I was going to
just drive the car through it.
I could have Dwayne'd it, but I don't have any Dwayne in me muscular.
No, but like the car. You just drive the car straight through the car.
Well, the doula had just left as well, so I would have called her and got her to come pick me up. But
right,
it's just...
Lot on.
It wasn't needed.
No.
You do
not need that.
I've got a fully loaded, breaching mother in the back, screaming, and I just need this fucking garage door to open. Get the prick done manually, scream out onto the street, and she's just folded over the back seat, windows open because she wanted the breeze, and just guttural cave shit.
Yeah.
There's Uber drivers driving past, like giving the car looks. There's people driving up behind her. She just seen it fold her over the back.
Because it wasn't late.
7 p.m.
Yeah, like people are out and about Friday. So
It was Friday night.
That's what I mean though. Like when I took Steph, every time that I've taken Steph to the hospital, it's been like 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
So there's no one on the fucking road.
No, it was mate, I was thinking to myself, thank God this didn't happen at 3:30 school traffic. Because I would have been in wrong side of the road areas,
Yeah,
you
would.
On the horn.
Yeah, you would.
So the traffic wasn't that bad, thank God. But people are out and about, they're having a drink, they're having a nice time.
It's Friday.
It's Friday night, Tom. Great night to be born, by the way. Great time of the day, I think. Good omen. Get to the hospital after like 10 minutes maybe. She's just going the big lift in the back. Unbelievable stuff. But again, not whinging, just going with it. Just being an absolute beast of a woman. Get in there, park in the taxi bay. Fuck you, taxis. I need this park. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, shut up.
Get inside. Get her into the lift. There's just like a family downstairs in the lobby, and I just wheel Elsa in. I'm like, God, that'd be confronting if you were up next.
Yeah.
If that woman was pregnant, she probably was. Not necessarily.
This is what's coming.
This is what's coming for you. Get up in there. Chloe, shout out to Chloe, the midwife, who just terrific.
Mm-hmm. And Chloe's husband.
And Chloe's husband, Kurt. But this isn't about Kurt.
No,
this is about Chloe.
It's not about you, Kurt.
Who was fucking unbelievable. Anna Maria, doula, incredible as well. Shout out to both those beautiful women. Get into the birthing suite, Tom. She had wanted to a water birth.
Yep.
Meconium and that.
That's a bit of a DILF term for when the baby's already done a shit inside the womb, punters and dribblers.
Yep. So you
Meconium.
So you can't have a water birth, but she was so far along that didn't really matter. So we get into the birthing suite, drops to her knees. Chloe sees baby's head. Holy shit, this is on. No need to fuck around now.
No.
I need another midwife in here. So she's like, can you get me some help, please? Blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, Elsa, just hold on. I don't want you pushing just yet. Just I'm getting a wet wipe down, a wet sort of compress down there just to help things stretch.
Yep.
And then we're going.
Yep.
Then you got like 2 pushes and this thing's out. She's 5 minutes later, she births the head, another DILF term. And then one more push out she comes. Wild stuff.
Yeah.
So we're in the hospital for 5 minutes at the
It's actually, dude, you were so close to giving birth in the car, which would have been just so
But I didn't know
punchy.
that I was.
No.
Which was a blessing.
Well, yes, but and if it was school traffic, it would have almost been that Ella birthed it, and you turn around and your daughter's just sitting there on the back seat, and you're like, oh, fuck.
That'd be a story for
That'd be
all time. As it was, timing was perfect.
Timing was perfect.
She didn't want to labour in the hospital for too long, as was her want. So that was great. 5 minutes is probably
This is maybe pinch short.
maybe a pinch.
Just a pinch.
Just a pinch.
But I'm with you. I don't like... Zoe was... Maybe we're in there for a little while. Hazel was pretty quick in there in terms of the labour side of things. Evie was fucking 4 days.
Yeah.
You want to be in there and out there. You want it to be quick. You just want to get that part of it done. Get the baby out and then fucking let's chill.
So that was beautiful. Out she comes. Happy, healthy little Suki. Cute as a button, Tom.
Cute as a button.
I'm like,
Looks like
holy
her dad as well.
shit, she's follically gifted.
Oh, my God, bro.
Everyone thinks we talk shit about that follically gifted stuff. Do we? Proof's in the pudding.
So do you think we were joking when we talked about follically gifted? Like, our kids, and Hazel as well, born shitloads of hair.
You think we're joking? We don't make jokes on this podcast.
No, this is, and it's not something to joke about.
No.
Follicles is not something to joke
We
about.
don't listen. If we're talking follicles, punters and dribblers, no jokes. No. Just good, honest rugby league truth.
Yep.
And that's what we got in Suki, Marilyn Simpson.
Yep.
Just a full head of hair.
Full head of hair.
Which took my breath away.
Dude,
I'll be honest with you.
When I came and I met her the other day, it was great to catch up with her, by the way. Great to see you, babe. The head of hair.
Yeah.
It was just so fucking thick.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Have you given her a bath yet?
No, we're going to do it yesterday, but then we're going to do it today.
Now, some people, again, just to let you know a bit of DILF shit, when they're born vaginally, that's through the vagina, punters and dribblers. They are coated in whatever the fuck, something. There's something there.
Good stuff.
Some good stuff. Apparently, it's meant to like help long term with like what is it? Like allergies and shit. Like it's meant to protect from all these different things. But conventional wisdom of the past, probably like what your mums and dads would tell you, your mother-in-laws of the world, they'd be like, give him a bath. What are you doing? You're actually meant to leave them in it for a minute.
Leave him in it.
Leave him in it.
We were going to do it over the weekend. Things popped up. Doesn't matter. We're probably going to bath her today, Tom. But what you do is you're getting them used to the world that we live in. There's germs out there. There's bacteria.
Yep.
They need to get their immunity going.
Yep.
And a great way to kickstart that is let them wallow in the world.
Yep.
Let them wallow in it.
Let 'em
Don't
soak
wash
it up.
away that dirt, that sin.
No.
There's no sin yet.
Well, no
you know
sin.
what I mean?
But what you're doing is you're keeping that protective coating on while they just get up to speed with what's going on. Correct. They're just sort of going like, wait a minute, okay, who's this, who's that? Let me get an understanding of this. Mm-hmm. That's a traffic light. This is mum. This is dad.
Yep.
That's a car. This is the Manly Seagulls. You know, like
all those things.
All those things. And now give me a bath.
That's exactly right, Tom. I couldn't have said it any better.
Well, you're talking a 3-time deal for the year, mate.
Well, 3-time deal for the year, Tom Birmingham. I'm going to give you a run for your money this year, but at the moment...
Listen, that's fine. That's fine because ultimately at some point...
But you've got to pass,
I've got to pass on to the next generation.
You have to pass on the mantle, Tom.
I've got to pass it on at some point. I don't want to... The last thing I want is to be DILF of the year in perpetuity. It's just not...
Well, it gets
not
boring.
It gets boring.
Yep.
And to be honest, it wasn't an honour I actually was ever looking for or coveted. It was one that was bestowed upon me by the covenant of the DILF. And, and you know, one that I've accepted, obviously.
Shout out to the DILF.
Yep. Shout out to the DILF. The DILFs out there, all you DILFs. But obviously we are your preeminent DILFs.
That's right. So... I mean, I'm not going to crap on and on about it,
Listen,
but that's the
it.
birth story. Again, shout out to Chloe,
Yep.
our midwife,
Yep.
Anna Marie, our doula, and just the incredible women at Royal Women's.
Yeah,
Just-
and women generally for giving birth.
Yep,
'Cause
and
that's
but
fucking
more
huge.
so than anyone to my wife.
There you go. That was where I was pushing
Ella.
you. I was leading you down that.
She was.
That would have been fucked if you just.
She was fucking terrific. Fucking terrific. Never been prouder of her. Just insane. Just just so much respect for her
Yep.
and what she did. So good on you, babe.
On your babe.
On you, babe.
On your babe.
Thanks for giving my little daughter, Suki, who is follically gifted and cute as a button.
Yeah,
So
as a rugby league button.
So there you have it.
There you have it. Punters and Dribbles, we are brought to you by Four Pines. You know that. Japanese lager, you know that. The best beer in town, you know that.
You know that.
Yeah.
I'm a DILF now, punters
Yeah.
and dribblers.
Yeah.
It's official. And guess what this DILF drinks? Four Pines Japanese lager.
Yeah.
Guess what this DILF was pouring down his gullet as he sat on the couch basically all weekend because I'm now homebound. Japanese lager.
Yeah.
Fucking terrific.
It's good stuff. It pairs lovely with being a DILF. Now, you don't have to be a DILF to enjoy Japanese lager.
No, you don't. But we are talking to DILFs this week. If you're a dad that people want to fuck, drink Japanese lager.
Yeah.
Drink it
Get it from your bottle-o.
because it pairs beautifully with being hot and a dad.
Where's the Punters and Dribbles push, mate? What's going on? What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. We'll tell you what's going on. It was time. It was time for the Punters and Dribblers to go. It had become more of a headache than it was worth, to be honest with you. 65,000 people in there, many of whom were fantastic individuals, creative, funny, engaging, thoughtful. Then, as we've said in the past on this show, some were not. Some were lame. Some were gimps. And it was ultimately, I think, becoming a bit of a net negative.
We've loved having the punters and dribblers.
It's been a ride.
It's been one of the great honours of my life to have birthed the punters and dribblers with my good friend Thomas Birmingham. Mm-hmm. Another DILF.
Yeah. 3-time DILF for you.
3-time DILF for the year. It's been an absolute honour and it's been an incredible ride. And out of it, we've given rise to some of the great punters and dribblers. Scotty Bellotti off
Yes.
the top of the dome, Matthew Mace, guys like that.
Yeah.
It's been a great community hangout. We have, for at least the last year, had concerns that the purity of the punters and dribblers had been overtaken by just negativity a lot of the time, which is just a bit scat and just dumb takes and people just punching on and we're just like
and even dumb takes I don't think is too as in
dumb takes not
dumb takes
necessarily
is in
an
everyone's got a shit take in them and that's sport, but it's ones where it's like Casey Badger's a fucking it's like where it's like, oh, we've got a female ref and that's a problem. Like that sort of energy. Where
it was like this is
okay.
supposed to be about dribble and
yarn, and it's sort of gotten away from that. Oi, how much are these lookalikes? You're like, okay, it's a bit.
So we weren't loving the purity of it.
No, and also we weren't loving the people would get upset that people have said certain things about other people and fucking
people are very sensitive. And
people come into there and talk shit and they'll start something and then when things go awry or things happen, then they start complaining and you're just like, I don't care. Like I actually don't give a fuck about this.
And so so honestly, in the last little while, it's becoming a bit of a ball ache, and we've ummed and ahed about deleting it for a while, and then the mood just struck.
Yeah,
and we did it. We're just having a little bit of a breather.
There'll be something come back, but it's going to be way harder to get in, and it's going to be way more fucking built around.
There will be
content.
Making
funny shit.
There will be another iteration, so don't fret.
Yeah,
we're just having a breather because it's been a ball ache for us to manage, particularly the last month or two.
Yeah, and
to administrate time. And so you and I need to just have a break.
We need a break. We all needed a break from it. But it'll come back. It'll be harder to get into. But basically what we want is for the people, the punter and the dribbler, the good people of the community who listen to the show, listen to Kenty, listen to Roo, Levels, who are a part of this little rugby league ecosystem, this dribble and yarn ecosystem, to be able to engage with one another, whereas I think it got a bit beyond. There was shitloads of people in there who didn't have any idea or weren't representative of the vibes of who you and I are and who the show is and what the whole point of the thing was, which is just being
punters
funny.
And dribblers are supposed to pad the world.
Yeah.
And
it's an extension of the world.
Stop doing that.
No.
So
some people
we just, you know what we did? We just wielded our executive power.
Yeah, it was executive power.
You know?
Now, it says it's paused. That's because Facebook make everything really hard. And it's based... Is it been deleted properly yet?
It's going to be a week.
It's going to take a while.
It takes like a week. I don't know how that even happens, but it takes a week. So that's why it says it's paused, but it's actually gone.
I tell you when I knew it was the right call is when I log into my Facebook. I just do that out of habit now because it was always to go to Punters and Dribblers. And now I get on there, I'm like, what am I doing on here? There's nothing to do.
Yeah.
But I don't have to go on there and just moderate. I'm like,
people
what a
saying-
relief.
Yeah.
What a relief.
People. And then, dude, we had to start a fucking WhatsApp group called Banned Punters and Dribblers because people would say such rogue shit. And then they'd be like, why can't I see the page anymore? And I'm like, let me just go search your name here and then I'll just share a racist screenshot with you.
That's probably why.
You can, you said something about the touring Indian team last year. And it's like, why the fuck? This isn't us. This isn't what we're about. We don't need to be engaging with dead shits like that. Mm-hmm. It's not worth it.
But listen, that's just where it got to. Having said that, most of the time it was a lot of fun. It just became less fun and it needed a cleanse. It needed an enema.
We all needed an enema.
And I think that we can all agree. If you're being fair dinkum with yourself and you actually stop for a moment of reflection, did the Punters and Dribblers Facebook page need an enema? Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. Anyone who really knows. And then you can see, even in our, that post we put up on Instagram, you saw a few of the people that we're trying to inoculate ourselves from by deleting that thing come over there and start leaving comments. And you're like, these are the types of people we don't want to be involved. Because they're the ones that come on and are talking shit again. Because they're like, I've got nowhere to be abusive and like a cunt. So now I'm going to come on here. There's some, I won't say his name, but there was some guy in there talking shit about Goxie. Goxie's like, he was like, where am I going to go to have people tell me my comedy sucks? Which is, whatever, that was funny. And then this guy's like, yeah, you blocked me, you fucking cat. So I'll tell you here, your fucking comedy sucks. And you're like, you're just a fucking loser. And then he's like, I thought this was a bit of banter. And you're like, no, but you're not funny. So you aren't really capable of engaging in it because you don't know what is fucking humorous, clearly. You're just like a loser. And so you see that and you're like, right, this is almost just reinforcing where it's like, okay,
it needed an enema. It needed a breather. That's all that matters. And guess what? We have final say. So if you don't like it, then fucking sit on it.
Yeah. There will be
Don't
more.
care.
It'll come back in a new iteration.
There will be a new iteration.
And you'll need to know your shit to get in. So
it's basically like.
But that's the thing.
It'll be like the Australian citizenship test, but except for punting and dribbling.
Punting and dribbling citizenship test, but people like Scotty Bellotti made his name in there. That's what you want. You want that sort of shit. You want the Matthew Mace videos. Remember the good old days when Kendrick Hatton would just come on with just some of the worst takes of all time?
Miss those days.
And I miss those days. And whilst it got heated, it was the marketplace of rugby league ideas, Edward. Or at least sporting ideas.
And that's what we're looking to foster once more with Punters and Dribblers 2.0.
Rise of the Punter and the Dribbler.
Rise of the Punter and the Dribbler. Set to be released.
Yeah.
Release date pending.
But not that far away, probably.
So just relax. Everyone
Calm
just
down.
cool their rugby league jets. And let us, Tom and I, have a well-earned break.
Yeah. And also, and I'm speaking for you here, Edward, but you can correct me. Some people are like, are you fucking surprised people making memes out of Eddie's daughter? And I'm like, I thought
Nothing
that was
to do
pretty
with
funny.
it. Nothing to do with
They
it.
had Suki driving a fucking car. I was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
And you and the Lebanese hair.
Listen, if I put up a photo of her online and it's public, then it's public.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not
As long as the
world.
meme's not rude or disrespectful.
Well, of course,
obviously.
but they were all in good fun, so that's fine. That wasn't the reason.
No.
The reason is we've just explained the reason.
Yeah.
And we've legitimately been thinking about it for about a year. In fact, I believe one night, early in the morning, we were about to hit the delete button, which would have robbed us of some nice moments that we've had in the last sort of 12 months. But now it's time. She'll be back. There you go.
We will rise again, punters and dribblers. We will rise again. Now, there's a lot to get to here, Edward, as I just consult my iPad here.
Good to see you got it back. Tom left it in an Uber.
I left it in an Uber on Thursday night, and the Uber driver was not answering my calls. I thought it was gone, and I was observing him driving further and further away from the city of Sydney, and all I could think about was my Apple Pencil Pro, my stylus pen, and my brand new iPad, which I'd barely got to know. Finally got onto the guy. He actually drove it back here from like fucking St. George, and then was like, I don't want any money. I was offering the man money, and he's like, I don't want any money. I was like, you're a class
What
act.
a nice man.
You're a class act. You're a stand-up guy. Stand-up guy. Now, a couple of things here before we get into the rugby league, because it's a big show. There's a lot happening. Tobler, this was just brought to our attention this morning, really, but we had Paul Kent on last Friday.
Yep.
Kenty, the episode went out last night. Shout out to Kenty for coming on. Appreciated it.
I'll say this about Kenny. Love him or hate him, he moves the needle.
He moves the needle. People feel some way about him.
Oh, my God. He gets people very hot under the collar, and that's fine. But I'll give you a little insight into why we had him on. And it's very, 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 very simple. People want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
He moves the needle. I've seen the numbers. He's fucking pumping.
Yeah.
So there's a shitload of interest in what Kenny has to say, like it or hate it.
I know.
And so like make your peace with that.
Well, but it's funny because then some
some people saying we sold out and shit.
That guy,
I go, we didn't get paid.
We didn't get paid. These people are so not these people. Some people are so dumb. I'd had a couple of shardies last night.
They're like, why would you give this guy a platform? I'm like, Fox gave him a platform for fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we talking about?
And all he's done is getting a punch on outside of a pub. That's like it. Like that's it. He went to court for a domestic violence dispute, got completely cleared of it, right? Completely cleared of it.
You got to trust the courts.
You've got to allow if you can't take that the court's decision at face value. What's the point of it? So that's it. He's innocent. I don't even think about that. So he got belted out. He was shit-faced and he got fucked up outside a pub, thrown into a tree, bit of a lol. That's the worst thing he's done. So, like, what the fuck are we talking
And then people go, well, he shits on players. Okay, sure. But the only reason you know he shits on players is because you listen to what he has to say, which means he moves the needle, which means you're interested, which is why we interviewed him.
Yeah.
So if you didn't, the only way you know he shits on players all the time is because you listen to him. And if you didn't read him or listen to him, you wouldn't know that.
Exactly. If he's ignored, then he just don't read it. But dude, that guy who said we sold out, I'd had a couple of shardies last night on the couch.
I saw.
Yeah. And I went back and I was like...
People being like, I'd love to think this is Tom fucking blowing up. It's always Tom.
It was Tom shardied up. Also, after hitting another 50 thick ropes, not a big deal, we won. And I was just like, we didn't sell out, you dumb fuck. And then I'm like, I get in this back and forth with the guy. So once he doesn't knows we don't sell out, then he's like... says it's because he's a domestic violence guy. I'm like, well, it was fucking cleared in the courts. And so then he changed it again to say he's a bad role model. I'm like, are you fucking 8? A bad role model? Then he deletes all his comments like a fucking coward. I went into his DMs. I'm like, you're a coward, cunt. I was like, you're a fucking coward. You're weak.
Oh, God.
I was in a mood last night. I loved it.
People are fucking crazy. But
I can delete my comments.
Just know this.
Coward.
Know this.
Coward.
To those people that get really fucking offended about Kenty, I'm sorry to say he's popular. And it's going to be one of our biggest interviews, so stiff shit.
Coward.
It's a stiff shit.
Stiff shit. Relax. It's all good.
Stiff shit.
You can hear from... Firstly, you don't even have to listen to it. Secondly, you can hear from people you don't agree with. That's also interesting. I find it interesting to listen to people that I disagree with or someone who I don't like or like... That sometimes can be interesting. Maybe not always. Maybe it'll be shit. Doesn't seem like the numbers seem to be all right.
The numbers are good.
Seem to be all right.
Well, the numbers are good. You know, like probably like 4 times, 5 times bigger than
Listen,
our greatest ever off spinner, Nathan Lyon, just to give you some context.
The numbers seem to be all right.
The numbers are good. The numbers are good.
Don't delete your comments, you coward. All I'm saying is numbers are doing all right. But one thing that was funny, which slipped through to the keeper when it was happening, like you and I didn't notice, is that he actually took a shot at close personal friend Dennon Kemp.
Well, I didn't know that until he messaged in our best friend's WhatsApp group.
Because he didn't name him. But then we were sort of like, oh, be careful how you explain it. You might find out who it is. But have you got the audio of that, Tobler?
Yeah, I'm getting it up on the telly now.
So Okay, we'll listen to it.
We'll just listen to it. Basically, like, he was talking about people who, like, listen, Kenty's like a rugby league almanac. He's a sport, like, he has fucking, I think he's got a bit, like, he's got one of those brains that can just remember shit.
Oh, one of them ones.
One of them ones, you know, he's got one of them brains.
Yeah.
And he was basically
You got
like,
one of them brains.
You got one of them brains.
Uh.
And he was basically like saying, you know, like people not knowing rugby league before a certain time or something like that.
It was basically like some people pretending like the game hasn't been going for longer than 2005. Might have been the number. Or 1995.
Well, I think Kenty had said something like he hadn't been paying attention to the game. He only started watching the game in a certain year. So he's like, have you got it?
TV's just...
TV's fucking out. We may as well just let Kenty speak for himself. All right. About the innocent side, I think they're just sort of remembering.
No, and they remember what they choose to remember. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. And I had this conversation. I've said it a few times publicly, and I get all the fucking nuffs just get out of their tree about it, because I say there's a real lack of critical thinking, not only in the game, but in society. I was just driving in here today. And again, I'm not going to mention a former player who's now working on radio, and they're doing a quiz. Okay.
So what's the time?
Yeah.
So this is live radio. I'm just trying
This
to
is live radio, right? So you'll know where you.
Well, Tommy worked in radio, so
But they're doing a quiz and they're asking questions, and it was about the Newcastle Knights, and the first question was about what year did the Knights come into the competition? 1988, right? He said, well, I didn't start watching footy till 1995. And I'm thinking, well, mate, can't you fucking read? Like, don't you have any, like,
read a book,
you know,
Kempy.
it was like last year at the Olympics.
Hey, that's enough.
That's enough. So basically, first and foremost, I did not know that Kempy was on radio on Friday.
No.
So
Well, listen, if we did, we would have fucking said it. It would have been funny.
Exactly, would have been way
Would have
funny.
loved to have said
exactly. But basically, where we're at is that Kenty has just accused Kempy
of not
being able to read,
Yeah.
which ties in nicely to what we've always said,
Which
is
is
that
that he didn't finish school.
Didn't finish school.
So
You know what I
Kenty,
mean?
Yeah, no, that's it. Listen, and there's nothing wrong with not finishing school.
Nothing wrong with it.
But that doesn't mean that there won't be some byproduct of not finishing school, which is potentially, in some instances, like Kempy's, is that he can't read. Which also, if you ever hear him do a live read, it rings true as well. But I didn't know that. I didn't know Kenty was going after Kempy. And then I saw a comment on, I think maybe the YouTube, where they were like, oh, fucking having a crack at Kempy. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? And Kempy was like, send us a message. We were like, oh, how funny is this? And I was like, what the fuck have I missed?
I love that.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it. I enjoyed the chat with Kenty. I got to be honest. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. As
And
well.
he has given us clearance from a
Content.
copyright perspective
Oh, yeah.
to do the Kenty challenge, which is where we're going to set up a pub in here and try and knock over 21 schooners in 11 hours.
21 mid-strengths.
21 mid-strengths in 11 hours.
I'll give you the hot tip on Buckley's.
I reckon you can do it.
That many, it's the beer.
I know.
It's the beer
I know.
aspect. It's the bloating.
I know.
I will turn into...
A bloated Veruca salt
Exactly.
for beer.
But for beer.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know what her name was. That's a...
But that was where you were going?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Of course it was.
in your head, mate.
She became a blueberry.
Well, she did. A huge blueberry.
Huge blueberry. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Weird movie.
Yeah, weird movie.
Weird movie.
Weird movie.
Weird premise.
The whole thing was weird. And honestly...
Especially the one we grew up on. I've said it many times. I found it a very disturbing movie, and I don't like it.
yeah, no, listen, it is. It's fucking... It's weird. But I did enjoy it. But there was... Like, when I was young and I was watching, I'm like, this guy's, like, killing kids. He's just off here killing kids. This guy's a fucking psychopath.
He's often kids, and
Offing
you know,
kids. He's allowing Augustus to drown in
his
chocolate.
grandpa's he's a grafter.
And the grandpa's a complete fucking grafter, mate.
He's a grafter, mate.
He's a charlatan.
Well, he's a charlatan. He can walk perfectly fine. He lays in bed just getting people to feed him.
He's
and
the
wash
sort
his
of guy...
arse.
You know what, dude? A Current Affairs should do a story on Grandpa Joe.
Yeah. The man that deceived his family.
Yeah, the man that lied to get into a fucking chocolate factory. It's like, mate, how come, you know when they get like the photos like through the trees and shit, it's like Grandpa Joe seen walking outside his house to get the mail. It's like, I thought you couldn't fucking get out of bed, cunt.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Disgraceful.
Tracy Grimshaw would get on that.
Was Tracy? I don't think Tracy's doing it anymore.
Well, no, but she'd come out of retirement for it, you'd think.
For a special.
For
Grandpa
a
Joe
special. Grandpa Joe special.
Yeah. Shout out to Tracy.
Shout out to her. Talking to rugby league, Ed?
Yeah, let's do that.
I reckon.
I want to see what. I hope Kempy comes back.
Well, from on Kenty?
Yeah.
Mate, he should.
He should.
He should get the tree on the podcast.
Have a crack, Kempy.
Round 2 of rugby league. My goodness. Round 2 of rugby league. Now, listen, I watched the Knights and I watched the Fish. I did. I think you and I, quite rightly, Ed, would have been critical of the Knights, but that's only because I think we want them to be good. You know, like, it's not because we want the Knights to be a shit rugby league team. It's more just that, like, when the Knights are good, rugby league's good. And so we've been critical, like a father who loves their child.
Yeah. The reason we're being critical is quite simple. We want the best for the Novocastrian.
Yeah.
We want the best for the Hunter.
Yeah.
And we want the best for the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah.
And at the moment, you know, outside of Ponga, there's been concern.
Yeah, there's
been concern.
But it feels like they're starting to. There's a few green shoots, if I can use a gardening term.
You can use a gardening term, Tom. You're a DILF now. Kalen Ponga is one of the best players on the planet. He's
Just
an
an absolute freak.
He's an absolute freak.
Absolute freak.
He's getting a bit of help next year via D Brown.
But he's got Fletcher Sharp
on biblical
dude.
money. But
Fletcher Sharp.
in the interim, he's got a couple of boys doing a couple of things.
But you want to talk about someone who, in my estimation, is a good style of a bloke, dude? Fletcher fucking Sharp.
I like the cut of his hair.
I like the cut of his hair. I like the trim of his pubes. He just seems like a natural footballer, Edward. A footballer's footballer.
Yep.
There's a couple of green shoots at the Newcastle Knights. You know,
but then you've also got a tree in Bradman Best.
Well, Bradman Best's a full-blown tree. He's a full-blown, he's a pitbull tree.
Pitbull tree.
But there's also another green shoot.
He's a tree with T-ends on.
He's a tree with T-ends on and a chain. Where's my chain? You can see it on the old, on the block, tickle me blocker there. Dylan Lucas. Back rower / centre. Like, that's a green shoot right there, Dylan Lucas. 2 tries, 2 weeks, I believe, or he maybe set one up the first week. I'm just like, fuck. Now, these Knights won't win the comp, and we know that. That's fine. They're not going to be contenders. Unless Kalen Ponga does something. To be honest, he's so
can't
good.
Win the comp.
No, but he is so good that he can.
They can't win the comp.
No,
So
no, they can't win the comp.
They can make the 8.
But like
They
off the
can't win
back,
the comp.
Ponga can get
And
him.
I did have them coming last. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have them coming last. But I did preface that around a Ponga injury, they could fucking fall off a cliff.
I don't know.
We will see. Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
The Dolphins are more in the box seat for this to happen.
They are. They're boxing out. And, you know, you'd think, and this isn't a crack at Jermaine Isaka. It's not a crack at him. But you just would have thought he would have gone over for 1.
Yeah, you would, especially if you tripled him. You would have thought.
You just would have thought.
Jeez, you would have thought. You would have thought if you tripled him, he would have gone over for 1, but he doesn't. The Dolphins look like shit. Wayne Bennett leaves another club in utter misery in the toilet, such as his right, such as his want.
Well, does Wayne basically, when he's leaving a club, he just he takes a turd in the toilet and doesn't flush, just walks out, just leaves it to stew there and fester.
He takes the working files. That's what he does. He takes the working files, everything they've built up, all their systems, all their processes, their culture, all the working files stored on a little hard drive. He whips them down, then does a shit, then fucks
then leaves.
off.
Doesn't flush.
No, he doesn't. Doesn't have much flush about him.
No.
Wasn't the best game of rugby league I've ever watched, though.
No, 26-12, not that interesting.
Not that interesting. Not that interesting. Friday, there were some sick games.
Well, listen, a lot happened
there was one game.
Well, listen, a lot happened on Friday. I'll say this firstly about Friday. Well, about the weekend generally. The best teams in the comp lost on the weekend. Like the big dogs lost. All the big dogs lost.
No, so let's specifically on Friday, Penrith Panthers and the Melbourne Seagulls, Manly Seagulls, Dad Brain, DILF Brain.
Dad brain. No sleep.
Lost.
Yeah.
Now, why'd they lose? Because we're contenders.
Yeah.
The contenders lost.
Yeah.
The big dogs lost. It's all part of the narrative of rugby league football.
Yeah.
And
Well-
the best have got to lose. And if you're winning them early, you're not winning them late.
No, I just wouldn't.
However,
I want to draw your attention to the Confucius of rugby league, Mr. Philip Gould. This was one of his haikus he put out Friday night. Early season NRL ... WLWL ... That's win loss. Up and down ... Upsets everywhere ... It's a funny game, rugby league. ...
That's why he's a Supremo.
Yeah.
I think Andrew Webster wrote a huge article about field goal.
I've got the paper there. I mean to read it over the weekend.
Oh, I'm going to read it after this.
Didn't get time.
No,
DILF
but
and
we can talk about it on Thursday.
Yep.
I want to though, Tom, if you'll allow. If you'll allow me.
I'll allow it.
I think it's important as a DILF, as a man, as a husband, as a father,
DILF.
to regularly check in with my emotional regulation and just make sure I'm moving all the poor energy, all the bad energy through my body and out, through my body and out, through my body and out. I don't want it stored anywhere.
Yep.
I can't have it on my person. I can't have it on my being.
You got to be zen.
And an important way for me, Edward Lloyd Simpson, first of his name, 29th of 1st, 1991, Dubbo Base Hospital, to cleanse is to talk to his old mate Tommy Burns, the son of.
3-time deal for you.
That game on Friday night did my fucking head in.
Did my head in.
It did my fucking head in. It was just, I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. It was the same old Manly story where we start so well, we butcher a few tries, we should be up 30-0, but things can't quite happening. Tommy Turbo's having a bit of a shocker. He's dropping the ball, he's throwing the ball out, but you're sitting there and you're going, this is going to be a rugby league humping.
And I don't want to, this has got a bit of the Ryan Girdles about it. We're a front foot football team. We don't seem to be able, at least historically speaking, when shit goes wrong, we aren't able to arrest a slide or change the momentum. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? I'll say this. Something needs to change in our forward pack. I don't know what it is, but we are one game on, one game off. We have got some of the biggest motherfuckers in the NRL in our forwards, and we don't aim up every week.
Not every week. We have weeks off.
We have weeks off.
You can't have weeks off in
I know
rugby
it's only
league.
round 2, and if you win in a million, you're not winning late, but fucking
No, but Tom and I have watched
we don't lose to that Warriors team, even if it was a blood moon.
We've seen too many games of rugby league, particularly Manly games, and I've seen this too often.
Yeah.
This is a trend.
Yeah.
The trend is a simple one.
It's a market trend.
It's a market trend. Honestly, if it was stocks, I'd be a billionaire because I'd be able to pick this like a dirty nose. I saw it change after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I go, oh shit, Manly hasn't put the points on that it feels like it should have. Momentum's going to swing and we're going to struggle to arrest it. And that's exactly what happened. Then, thank God it's all good. But then on top of that, just to make my night even worse, Turbo goes off with hamstring awareness. We thought at the time it could have been worse.
Yeah.
And Cherry Evans' skip goes off. Now, both are cleared.
I was going to honestly try and hold my breath till I passed out if it was a bad hammy injury. Like, I just wanted to be unconscious. I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to be awake.
Manly should not have lost that game. We looked so good to start. Garrick missing that one from basically right in front at 4-0 after the first try. I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't good. Not good.
Not good. And I want to pay some credit to the Warriors, who obviously took full advantage of the blood moon.
Oh, who cares about them?
No, because there was a blood moon, and that is not irrelevant. You may have left the studio by the time we were discussing the blood moon last week.
Yes, I was.
And the blood moon in Maori culture is very significant.
So it was a thing.
It was a thing.
Right.
We obviously, I was aware of the blood moon.
I wasn't.
No, but there was a little I could do about the blood moon. Right?
So that's why we played like that.
Well, we had a blood moon. We were working against a blood moon.
Well, Tom, you didn't tell me about that.
I didn't want to make it a thing. I was trying to ignore the blood moon. I know now that I can't ignore the blood moon.
Hey, I want excuses. I want excuses. If you've got a blood moon excuse on a platter, serve it up, dog.
Yeah, well, listen, there is...
Serve it up.
No, can you just find out...
Because I'm over here hammering the boys for a shit performance, not knowing that it was completely out of their cosmic control.
It was beyond their cosmic control. Absolutely it was. But that also was a performance I've seen outside of blood moon.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I've seen that...
You know what? I've seen that performance every second week.
Yeah. It's honestly every second week for my entire life, basically, except for the good years.
I was telling you this before. Actually, was it Sunday we were talking about it? Green room. Family meet and greet. Very cute.
Very cute.
Very, very sweet.
Lots of hair.
Lots of hair everywhere. Is
That
that...
might have been the hairiest family meet and greet of all time, just if I could just go there for a second.
Yeah.
You pair it into a Eddy, Ella, Suki.
Yep.
Into 3 Birmingham children, Tom and Steph. That might have been the hairiest meet-up of all time.
It was the hairiest meet-up of all time. People will write tales about that till the end of time.
Yeah.
I think that Manly's been playing this style of on-off football for at least the last 10 years.
And honestly, Edward, it might be my entire life. Like, it might be my entire rugby league existence where I've experienced this. Like, me and my old man would be like, fuck me, that was a Manly performance, wasn't it? You just go, fuck, like, I've seen that game. I've seen that performance. When we're good, we're great. And we beat the best fucking teams in the competition, and then, no disrespect, we just go down to the shitters. We get blood moon, dude, and we just get shit all over. And
We got blood mooned. That first play, just send it wide, Turbo to Sub back to Turbo.
Yeah.
We've seen that play 50,000 times.
I did have Turbo first try score, obviously. I'm not.
And it always results in the same old thing. Tries for Manly, except then Tommy he got blood mooned. Then the side got blood mooned. Then the forwards got blood mooned.
Dude, the forwards, like, some of the fucking plays, like just the drop balls and the weakness. I also want to say something in regards to Andrew Voss, who...
What's doing? He hates Manly.
He hates Manly. And then some people were like, oh, well, is he wrong? I'm like, Manly's losing. Manly's not playing well. Blood moon and that. But it's not about that. I'm not saying that you can't be critical of a team not playing well. Andrew Voss was beating his dick whilst Manly was losing. He was enjoying the Manly loss. Should be impartial. You're a commentator. He started going...
He's the most impartial commentator in the world.
He's not impartial. He should be. He's
the most partial.
Yeah.
Is that
he started going, it was like fucking 4-6 to the Warriors, or maybe even 4-0 still with Manly, and like things were just sliding. He's like, oh, what about that game last year where they were up and then they just lost? I'm like...
The round 4 game. I go, where's this come from?
What the fuck are you banking random throwback Manly losses for?
He was right, though.
Well, no, he was completely spot on. But you must love it. You must love a Manly loss to remember that loss. I'm like, what are you doing? And then he's going, why aren't they sending fucking another player off? Jake, you can't tell me that Manly was that ill-disciplined that it was 11-3 set restart, 6 again restarts, whatever it is.
Well, that was the blood moon at work.
Well, it was the blood moon, and it was also just some bullshit refereeing. I'm not saying Manly shouldn't have lost. We played bad. Manly should have lost.
We were shit.
We were shit, and we've just been acknowledging as such. Blood moon and that. But that was just it wasn't a great refereeing performance either.
It was Andrew G doing it.
I know. And listen, even Buzz Rothfield thought Andrew G was fucking all over it. 9 penalties and 11 set restarts, or fucking even more than that.
Well, that's the blood moon at work. We know that.
Listen, all I'm saying is Vossi, and Brandy hates him as well. Brandy wasn't on the call, though. It was Vossi and Blocker. I'm sure Blocker doesn't like Manly. No one likes Manly, but you need to be impartial. You're a commentator. Do not bring your fucking your gripes to the commentary, please.
But
Dan Gannett wouldn't do that. Greatest commentator in the game right now.
Manly's got Canberra Raiders this Sunday night. That'll be a ripper game, and Manly will play well because Manly gets up for good sides, and we'll get to the Raiders.
Who I also picked for the spoon.
But Manly don't like playing the shitters. We never have. That was an awful performance. There I said it. It's cathartic for me to get it off my chest. I had to say it. I couldn't sit here and pretend like it wasn't awful because it was fucking awful, and I hated it.
But blood moon.
But this isn't an excuse. There was a blood moon.
Can you get the blood moon up and the significance of it in the Maori culture, please, Tobler?
Yeah, so I've got here that in folklore, Rona, the woman who was captured by the moon, returns to Earth for a short time seeking revenge on those who didn't save her. So the Maori believed it was an omen and people should be careful of their activities and look out for one another. Is what I found online.
No. I know, Eddie, when we read this as well, it was a bit like, well, that sounds like a bad omen for the Maoris or for the Kiwi team. But actually, it's that they basically they charge up for it. It's a moment of significance for them, and they get going for it.
Well, I mean, listen. We've already said as much. You cannot if things are out of your cosmic control, then there's no way you can win games of rugby league football. But we were also awful, and we played like a side that I've seen many times before.
Yes,
particularly against shit sides. Oh, you're in the bottom 4, are you? Oh, you're like favourite for the spoon? Well, we're just going to have the week off. That's the Manly attitude.
You come beat us. Hey, how about that?
But
you pad your record.
It's off my chest now. I'm going to be far more positive. I just need to get that off my chest.
No, we need to get off the chest.
Now.
Blood moon in that.
Friday night game, Penrith Panthers versus the Roosters. I thought this was an absolute corker.
Yeah. Well, hold on just quickly. Back to DCE and Turbo.
Well, they're good.
No,
they're good.
But I just want to take a moment, Edward, to thank the fucking heavens that Tom Trebojevich's hamstring is not compromised.
No, it's
obviously it's awareness, but it's okay.
Well, but muscularly, Tom.
And then
Muscularly speaking,
yes,
it's fine.
it's fine, soft tissue-ish. And then also
no soft tissues.
well, an awareness.
Yeah.
DCE,
No-ish.
DILF back. Just a
Well, he's
classic
playing this
case,
weekend.
but just a classic case of DILF back. Your back goes when you get old. When you're a DILF and you're a bit older, your back goes.
I've got DILF back.
I've got DILF back. Daly's got DILF back. DILFs get DILF back.
DILFs get DILF back. Sue us.
Sue us, but you can come back from DILF back.
Well, he's playing this weekend, apparently.
I don't want Tommy to play this weekend.
No, neither do I.
We don't
Although,
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Give him a week. Give him 2 weeks. Whatever. Just like relax. It's round 2.
great
3.
point. Great point. You know what they're calling me on Neds now, Tom?
What?
Mr. Profile.
Mr. Profile.
I'm sharing so many bets to my profile, dude.
About time,
I'm
mate.
sharing so many bets to my profile.
About time.
Mr. Profile.
Really?
Yeah.
Netty Profs.
Netty Profs, dude.
Well, listen, if you were following along, you would have got some jam from your boys on the weekend. We had a couple of winners. We had a couple of losers too, but we had a couple of winners.
Oi, Iongi. Doing, lad.
Doing, lad. Oi, Iongi, anytime. Doing, lad.
Doing, lad.
Hey, AFB, anytime.
Doing, lad.
Doing, lad.
But Jesse Arthur's
2 or more.
doing, lad.
Hey, doing, lad.
Doing, lad.
Now, listen, you can follow along all our bets. We have started doing the hosted pots as well. Didn't go great on the weekend, but if you
listen, we're 0-1. We're 0-1. You voted for the wrong fixture. In fact, none of them would have got up. But that's okay.
Well, Turbo Anytime would have
Listen.
actually in the first second.
True.
Now,
Take that back.
All we're saying is we love Neds, and you got to be on the Neds app. You got to be in the About Even group. You got to be following the profiles to get amongst it. What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on screen or visit the website. All right, now back to the Roosters, Edward.
Yeah, bro.
Panthers, Roosters. 21 points was the line in this game. Roosters at time of kickoff were paying $11. Panthers, don't know if you heard of them, 4-time premiers, 5 straight grand finals. The Roosters off the back of a butt fucking at the hands of the Broncos, 50 points and that can't make the GF and that can't win the comp and that. Some, not this guy, saying greatest comeback in NRL history, fucking greatest upset. I'm like, it was a great game. It was a phenomenal win. Your thoughts first.
Greatest comeback in the history of the sport. Is that what people say?
Like biggest underdog fucking...
No, it's a round 2 game. Calm down.
Not only a round 2 game, Edward, but they have Connor Watson, Mark Nwangani-Tawase, so Wallaby and New South Wales player, Daniel Tupou, who's been an Origin
Guess how much
player.
I got Daniel Tupou for any time?
I know.
$3.30.
Yeah, ridiculous.
He's a winger.
Ridiculous.
$3.30
Yep.
is what I got Tupou for any time. Unbelievable.
Dom Young, English international. James Tedesco, former Australian captain. Fucking Angus Crichton. Like, they were depleted, yes, and they did it was an amazing win.
They've lost troops from last year. They've lost leadership.
They've lost heaps, but just to be calling it the greatest fucking comeback win of all
It's
time,
not.
you've got a better
It's
team
not.
than most teams
It's
with
not.
that.
It's not the greatest comeback of all time. Round
That's
2.
better than the Titans side.
Seriously. Let's just park that for a second and just acknowledge what was a tremendous game of rugby.
Tremendous game.
The Roosters were awful last week. Absolutely diabolical. In fact, they were deplorable, Tom.
Yep. Diabolical.
So yeah,
deplorable.
they've turned it around and had a crack. The Panthers weren't bad by
It's
any
a
means.
famous win.
It was a great game of footy.
Yeah.
It really was. Notable mentions to our good mate Connor Watson, who was superb.
He was on.
He was absolutely
Connor
superb.
Watson?
Did he get 2 tries?
Yeah, I think so.
Or 1?
2.
No, 2. He got 2.
In my Supercoach
He's
side.
got a double. Yeah, he's 28,
28, so he's coming into his own.
turning
Mate,
29.
I tell you who looked fucking good. Mark
Mark Nwangani-Tawase, very good.
little draw, little like shifts
Try
out the back.
assist,
That one he got to Tupou, just a little flick out the back.
I know,
Beautiful stuff.
which people were trying to say was forward, which absolutely was not.
Well, it wasn't called for, so shut up and move on.
Yeah, I don't want to tell you who's commentating. Actually, that is incorrect. I don't want to tell you who was saying it was a forward pass, not commentating. It was across the park from the Roosters, like sack up and just be counted stuff.
Mate, it was...
They had guys that were going back on to do concreting the next morning.
See, I love that.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It got me... I actually got toey watching that game.
No, same.
It was unbelievable.
And you and I are largely anti-Roosters people, but I was pro-Roosters that night.
I was. Mate, you know what? Because they played with a shitload of heart and a fuckload of desire.
Shitloads of heart, fuckloads of desire.
They did.
Yeah.
They absolutely did. They were unbelievable. And, the Panthers were coming from late Cleary misses that conversion, which then gives them the 8-point buffer. But then they get the penalty. So then you're thinking, shit, are they going to score late? Is this thing going to end in absolute misery? And it felt like it was going to. It really did.
But that yellow card with 10 to go was complete bullshit.
Yeah, it was.
That was like he got him in the head. But a yellow card in that game, like in that moment of the game, was that really reasonable? I don't think it was. It was a disgrace, really, if you ask me.
But I tell you, it was good to see, though. I mean, I think I speak for everyone in the rugby league community when you say you're sick of watching the Panthers win every week. It was good to just see someone go out there and have a crack and get a dub.
Yeah. Tell you what, Ivan Cleary in the post-game press conference with a new take on the we beat ourselves, which is like not giving the other team credit that beat you. He didn't say we beat ourselves. He said we lost the game before we even turned up tonight.
Well, they started slow.
No. The game was lost, Eddie, before they arrived at the ground.
Oh.
So the game was lost long before they even showed up.
Why show up?
I mean, maybe it's like hindsight's 2020.
Well, they got no quid in them. So, any explanation as to why they lost the game before they showed up?
Well, I think it was maybe that they just thought they were going to beat up a bunch of losers.
Oh, so he didn't like the attitude?
Well, he's just saying they
Well, buck stops with you, coach.
The game was lost before they even arrived at the ground. Now, Dom Young said, "Fuck that. We won that game on the night. That we didn't win the game before the game was played. We won it on the night. How the hell is that even possible?"
The game I saw, the game I watched,
was one on the night.
Circa 8 p.m. Friday night was one on the night.
Yeah. And I mean, I think Dom Young, maybe from the Super League, not au fait with rugby league. I don't even know what you would call that. Phraseology, parables. I'm just saying things now. He's like, "What are you talking about? You won it before we got here. How's that possible?"
A key and interesting takeaway though from the game is how the Panthers conceded 38 points.
I know.
When was the last time that happened?
Well, I'd like to know.
They're usually a 12, 16-point team.
Dude, 60, 70 points in that game.
Unbelievable.
70 rugby league
38 points they let in. Never see that. Never, ever see that. So maybe that's what he means, attitude. Attitude was poor. Doesn't like what he saw, but I would push back a little bit and say I'm pretty sure you lost the game when it was getting played.
No.
I could be wrong.
I agree with that.
I'm not a 4-time in a row premiership winning coach, Tom. So I'm not. I don't know as much as Ivan, but I'm pretty sure they lost when the whistle blew.
It feels like the 80 minutes on Friday was where the game was won and lost, but again, we're not around rugby league enough to know.
So this is where I'm getting confused because that's when the points were handed out. The 2 points were given after the game, not before it. So I'm just a bit confused.
But yeah.
So that was just the 7th time since 2020 that the Panthers have had 30 put on them.
Dude, I saw, and this is...
and how many games is that?
Dude, Crichton, I saw
100
on
or so?
Saturday.
100 odd?
He's like, I haven't beaten those guys for like 6 fucking years.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Shout out Angus.
Shout out Angus. Looking in phenomenal condition. I saw him at the beach. He had his shirt off. I had my shirt on.
Yeah, good.
And
I think that's appropriate.
He looked phenomenal.
That's
big,
appropriate.
Big guy.
Yeah, huge.
Big guy.
Mate, he's a
huge guy.
He's
Put my
enormous.
arms around him.
He's enormous.
Big guy.
Enormous.
Oh, here you go, bro. Big guy.
Enormous.
Couple of big guys.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, no, I was just trying to see how big of a guy he was, and he's a huge guy.
So it wasn't about two big guys next to each other?
Well, there were 2 big guys next to each other. One was fat and one was jacked.
Anyway, great game.
6 years, though, dude. 6 years since they've beaten each other? Since they've beaten the...
That's a hell of a record.
Yeah, it is.
That's a hell of a record. $11. Jeez, that looks juicy in hindsight.
The line blew out to 25 points.
You got to take...
You just need
reminder,
to...
Edward. Reminder.
Yeah. Reminder,
odds that long, you get on.
Just regardless.
Lines that long, you get on.
You're better off just being on it. Because even when I saw it at 11, I'm like, but why would I get on it? Because it won't happen. That's why it's $11.
No, but you
have to get on it.
But so much value.
Yeah. No, you have to get on it.
Drowning in value.
Yeah. The line I was on, I needed Jack Cole. I had the Roosters plus 21.5. That line was dumb. But I needed Jay Cole from the Panthers to go over. That was kind of dumb from me.
That was silly.
Yeah. But the line was easy. I should have pounded that line.
Should have pounded
couple
that
of
line.
lines on the weekend that deserved to get fucked.
Yeah, there
I didn't
was.
Fuck them, but
there was. Anyway,
that's what
we move
happens.
on.
We move on. Penrith need to admit they lost that game, though, during the 80 minutes. I think Ivan needs to come out and address that.
Just because you won 4 comps in a row doesn't mean you can start telling fibs.
Well, you can't start warping space and time. The game is won and lost during the 80 minutes on the field, not before, not after.
Is he trying to argue that time doesn't exist? Because I've heard that said, but not from Ivan.
Not from Ivan. That's more of a astrophysicist. Is that so?
Yeah, I'm speaking more like Nobel Prize winners.
Yeah. Nobel laureates.
Yes.
I don't know.
Cambridge, Oxford, etc.
Oh, yeah. Big dog stuff. Yale.
Yeah.
Harvard.
Ivy Leagues.
Ivy Leagues.
Ivy on buildings and that.
Yeah, not Ivan Leagues. Now, this is breaking news hot off the press, Eddie. This has just been sent to me by a friend of the show, Chica.
Yep.
Yesterday, when I hit 52 brave runs for the Thick Ropes County 11, and I don't want to go into it, but I've just been notified. I didn't want to talk about my 52, but I did pass 1,000 last man standing runs.
Well done, mate.
Just wanted to let everyone know. I don't want fanfare. Don't put any fake applause underneath this toddler in the edit. But I just wanted to let you know I have just ticked over 1,000.
Good for you, mate.
Runs. You don't seem as excited as I thought you would, man.
Mate, I'm thrilled.
You through?
Yeah.
Well, it's.
I'm bursting with pride.
It's a milestone.
Mate, I'm bursting with pride.
That doesn't feel like it. That feels facetious, and I'm not really stoked about that.
I'm just pumped for you, mate.
No, I don't think that's fair enough, mate. That's fucking.
I'm fucking that proud of you.
That's fucked up, mate. That's fucked up. Let's move on to the next game of rugby league, Ed, should we? You all right over there?
I'm good.
Okay, good.
As gold.
Tough. Is there anything more Wayne Bennett than just getting the Rabbitohs to 2-0 to start the season when you've got all your players out?
I looked at this game, Tom, and I looked at it through the lens of not knowing what I'm talking about. And that's how I look at most things.
Yep.
Not all things.
Not all things.
When it comes to being a DILF, I know what I'm talking about.
No, of course you do.
But when it comes to rugby league football, I'm often off the mark in terms of what's going to happen. I saw a Dragons side that I like I said as much. I used to hate the Dragons with every single fibre of my being. I don't hate them as much this year. I just don't. I don't hate them as much. I don't know why. I just don't. Wollongong, hot day. Shane Flanagan, Ken coach.
Yeah, hot day.
Hot day.
Hot weekend.
Hot weekend. In Wollongong, did I mention that? Down by that beautiful picturesque oval by the water.
Wind Stadium. Bit of a sea breeze though, maybe. Just in terms of a heat
Still
stuff.
hot though, Tom.
Yeah.
Still hot.
It's hot in the sun.
If you go to the beach on a hot day, it's hot.
It's still hot.
Despite the wind.
Breeze or not.
It's fucking
hot.
oath. And it was a hot day.
Yeah.
And I thought they'd go out there and play hot rugby league, but I didn't count for the fact. Well, I should have. I was aware of it, but I didn't allow it too much credit. Is that Wayne Bennett's a thoroughbred?
Yeah.
Okay. The man
coach.
knows what he's doing. And that the Rabbitohs have picked up a hot young thing
I don't
by
know
the
whether-
name of Jamie Humphries.
Yeah, I don't know whether Joey said this or whether I just saw someone write it somewhere, but calling him Jamie Humphries.
Like that. That's clever. I wish I'd said that myself.
Yep.
His little one-step kick wasn't even lined up, didn't even look like it was in his mind to kick a field goal to win the game with about 6 minutes to go. It was just class.
Hey, but it was a quick, reactive, purely struck, confident drop goal that was never going to miss. It was just like, oh, fuck. As soon as you saw him just quickly line up, we go, there is not a single alternate universe where this doesn't go over. And he just pumped it. He also had a try assist for the game. I don't know what his fucking, what his kick meters were. Val Holmes, basically the game was lost on his boot, no disrespect.
Well, he kicked 2 from 5.
Yeah. But it was a Wayne Bennett-like performance. They came back from a 12-point deficit, the Rabbitohs, to win that one. It was just Sean Kepi scoring tries against the Dragons. Like, you know why Shane Flanagan was so angry in the post-game press conference? Because they let Sean Kepi go over. And this isn't a knock on Sean, but Sean Kepi.
Sean's a friend of the show.
Sean's a friend of the show. Former Manly player.
Once a proud Eagle. But, if Sean Kepi's scoring the match winner, well, at least he'll go 24 all in the 70th minute.
Yeah. No
should you be letting that happen? Should you be letting that happen?
No, you shouldn't be letting that happen.
And it was supposed to be a great day out for the Flanagan's. Kyle scored 2 tries.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why he probably didn't cop the same spray that his house partner Lockie Ilias did in the post-game presser.
Wasn't happy.
Well,
wasn't happy. But
have we got any audio of Shane in that press conference? Sorry, mate.
I just can't.
It might even be on like the Fox League Instagram or something. You know what I mean?
Wayne Bennett just gets the boys up and about. They're missing troops. They're missing men. They've been written off. And yes, sure. They're not beating the greatest sides of all time, but wins are wins, Tom.
Edward, they've just beaten the Dragons, who have recruited stoutly, and they've got two of their best players out, and they've got a halfback with 2 games experience coming into this one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They got Sean Kepi in the front row.
But he's out of the Manly system. That's the thing.
That's the problem. That's what I mean. It's a Sean Kepi not in the Manly system.
But I'm saying Humphreys has come out of the Manly.
Humphreys. I thought you were saying Sean Kepi is the worst player because he's not playing for Manly.
No, Humphreys has come out of the Manly system.
Well, mate, he was quoted as saying, he goes, my calmness comes from working under the great Daly Cherry Evans. That's where I got calm.
Has he actually said that?
Yeah, he said it in the fucking paper.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I know. I've honestly, like,
my God. I tell you what, if your name's Lewis Dodd, I'd be worried. In fact, I'd almost be thinking about going home.
Same.
And I don't mean that to be mean-spirited.
No.
All I'm saying is traditionally English halves have sucked big, fat cocks when they come to Australia, right? Traditionally, historically, Tom. That's on the public rec.
Yeah.
You've got a young, hot thang who's learnt calmness from Cherry Evans, Queensland skipper, premiership winner, one of the best in the game.
Scrub along to just like maybe on your own time there, Tobler, if you can get a little side thing on your headphones and just find where he starts. He gets asked about Ilias and then where he talks about, what it's going to be like to be a dragon for the next 12 days.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
Then you've got Humphreys, who, again, learnt calmness off DCE. He's out of the Manly system, Tom. Yeah. Right? He's come across. Wayne's obviously taken a liking to the kid. He's just won them the game with his left boot off a 1 foot run-up, essentially.
Is he left-footed?
We don't know, but he kicked it left-footed.
No, I know, but I'm like...
Which took my eye, Tom.
Yeah.
Took my eye.
Took my eye. I didn't know if he was a lefty or not.
If your name's El Dodd, pack your shit and go home.
That's what I'd be thinking, is I'd be getting some Brazilian removalists because they're the best. Yep. Not because they all do it, but because they're the best.
Yeah, South American.
South American. You get on the blower either to a South American removalist company. I can't remember who we use, but they're all jacked. And you get them over, they'll pack your shit for you as well. So you don't even need to worry.
El Dodd's time to go.
I think that, and this is with the utmost respect to El Dodd, one of the great English imports to the NRL. It's probably time to think about going and getting some boxes. What's that box store you go to?
I'll be honest with you.
Where's that store where you get boxes?
Bunnings.
Bunnings? Is it Bunnings?
You can get boxes at Bunnings.
Can you get boxes at Bunnings?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to Bunnings, get you some boxes. We'll get you some tape, some good sturdy electrical tape. And we start packing your shit.
Can I be honest with El Dodd? Really honest with him. If he's not careful, he'll be doing farm work if he wants to stay another year. He'll be picking berries for 3 months the way he's going.
He'll be pulling fucking pythons off banana trees and
because
shit.
Immigration's going to go, you've done fuck all for a year, mate. No one's sponsoring you. Now, if you want to stay in the country, you're going to have to go down to Tassie and pick berries.
Yeah. No, I think we'll probably send him somewhere hot.
Wherever.
No, but let's send him north. Because he's got to learn. Right, you got to play fucking good footy or you're going to be out. You got to learn, mate.
He'll go where the berries need picking, Tom.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. Bananas.
And you get paid nothing, right? You get paid nothing, you get fed poorly, and you get housed in bunk bed rooms.
Bunk bed shit.
But that's what it is, mate, because you haven't come down and pulled your weight.
Well, should he be sent there now? Should he be sent to pick berries now?
Well, technically he's got a year berry free, but if he wants to do the second.
But I just think now's the time to do it, because otherwise, what are you doing? You just
get it out of the way.
You're withering on the vine.
Get it out of the way.
Metaphorically speaking, you need to be picked. He's a berry that needs to be picked. You need to send him up there and just get to work.
Not looking good, bruv.
No, bruv. Hey, in it. I also got to run out on the weekend, mate. Just while we're here. No, just listen. Remember when you didn't have a kid and you just used to shoot me down for all my kid shit? You just ignored it. Now, I know you haven't had a run out or 1,000 last man standing runs, but you need to lean in and go, wow, dude, you're a fucking great of the game, Take it back. So you need a question.
Yeah, first 10 minutes or so to ACL, and you just have to handle it. South handled it well. You got 13 out there. It wasn't an issue to us. They just competed harder and longer.
How's that adjustment period been for Lockie Ilias? I know he's coming for a very serious injury, new club, short pre-season, but Are you getting to the point where he needs to be, or is it slower than what you hope maybe?
You were here, weren't you?
I was here.
Ooh, Kenty.
Smarter than that.
Make your own assessment.
Do you hear that shit? You're smarter than that. Oh, there's a lot of round.
From Shane there.
Dude, very round. Yeah.
Woo! No wonder he called him. That was catty as fuck.
Yeah, he had to call him and apologise.
I need a fucking cold shower after that, dude. That
was Rouse City.
That was Rouse City.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Shane Flanagan.
Oh, God, the Dragons, they're just so good. That'd been shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They've got a buy now. Flano goes like,
oh, God.
He goes, you do not want to be like, paraphrasing here. He might have, there was some rounds in here, but he was like, you do not want to be one of my players for the next 12 days. I'm going to fuck you up. Dude, how hectic to say that about your fucking
Dude,
halfback.
I'm actually rattled that he said that.
Looked at that guy. He looked at that journal and was like, you were here. You saw him.
You're smart.
You're smart. Make your own assessment. Like,
mate, I'm telling you, they put the knock on him when they said he was going to be the greatest halfback of all time. That was unfair.
You know who said that?
It was it Shane Richardson?
No. It was.
Oh no, it was fucking it was Demetrio.
I'm waiting for you.
Jason Demetrio.
What was the next game there? Was that Bronx?
No, that was at night time. There was a 5 o'clock game.
Was it Sharks, Cows?
Mate, not too much to say other than the Cows suck and the Sharks look good.
Yeah, no, that's it. And I also hit my bet, which is Nickera and Teague Wilton.
Like, I'm not, I don't really care other than that.
No,
like, the Sharks look good, sweet. The
it was a game.
shit.
It was honestly a game I didn't care about. I said it on about even. I go, this game just doesn't get me interested.
Yeah, that's going to happen at the 5:30 Saturday slot. It's going to happen.
Especially with those two,
it's going to happen. This Saturday game though was, again, I've got DILF brain and I'm just not feeling things. And I was like, you know what? The Broncos are hot this year. I think they pumped the Raiders. As soon as I turned on the telecast. As soon as I put on the game and I saw the full house and I saw the atmosphere and I saw the boys just foaming at the mouth in the fucking tunnel, I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no.
I've made a terrible mistake.
What have I done?
Yeah.
And it was evident in the first hit up of the game. The boys were foaming at the mouth. Again, Big Red Tom, who's getting a double glaze back-to-back weeks.
Oh, yeah. From the back sort of stuff.
What a tone setter he is.
Yeah. Well,
fuck, he's terrific.
Him and Ricky buried the hatchet. A term I believe is talk about a literal hatchet. But they've buried it.
Do you know when I knew I was fucked completely? Is when Ricky was on the sideline at the start of the game.
Yeah, well, he's always on the sideline.
Not always.
No, but at home usually he is. At home games, he's usually on the sideline.
He's
a sideline coach.
There was fire. There was intent.
Yeah.
And they bashed the Bronx.
There was a brave win. It was a good win, brave win, strong win. They were a brave side. They're just up the guts and into them, though.
That's what I like about them. They're up the guts. Papali'i, dude, the fucking old warhorse, the old vet.
Yeah. Apparently, Ricky challenged him and Corey. It was like, oi.
They got challenged.
You're going up against Payne Haas. Oh, big scary Payne Haas. Pat Carrigan. Oh, I get my asshole bleached. I'm challenging you.
Second most games for the Raiders now.
Yeah.
Big
Equal
Papali'i, equal. The man's just like, how old is he, bro?
Methuselah stuff.
Still out there doing the damn thing. Gets a try, gets down low, go.
Yeah, but Ricky challenged him.
We challenged him, Tom. That's what I'm saying.
Ricky
That's what I'm
goes
getting
up to him and goes, I'm challenging you tonight.
If you get challenged by Ricky.
32, he's not even that fucking old.
Can I be honest with you? He looks 40.
He does. He's been playing for a long time.
Dude, he looks 40. He's been playing in the middle, so go easy on him, Eddie. You know what I mean? I'm talking to myself there, punters. Jamal Fogarty, big fan of his work. Tom Starling, obviously, stayed at his house.
Sorry, back on good style of blokes. Jamal Fogarty. He's growing on me more and more. Not that he was ever not, and not that I'd ever had any feeling of not liking Jamal.
No, he's grown on me.
But he's a good little footballer.
Can I be honest with you? I just didn't care about Jamal.
That's a bit
I
of
just
it.
didn't give a
He
shit
played
about
with the Titans.
I didn't care.
He was injured last year.
I didn't care about Jamal.
Fogarty's a good little footballer.
He's a good footballer.
And a good style of a bloke.
Great style of a bloke. I like their team.
Yeah.
I really do.
No, so do I. I had them getting the spoon.
Silly.
Yeah.
They've
Well,
just
I don't
got.
know
They've
what I'm
just.
talking about.
They've got. There was a vibe. There was an atmosphere at that game on Saturday night. It looked like it was absolutely heaving, and the boys were up for it.
Yeah.
And they took the sting out of them. They seemed rattled, the Broncos. They were like, ooh, like they got dragged down into just a tough grind through the middle.
Yeah.
They couldn't. They got.
Listen, they got outworked. They didn't want it.
These
They didn't want it.
these young hot alphas, bro, got their hotness taken away almost, you know?
Dude, I'm pretty sure that Madge in the PGP, that's the post-game press conference, PGPC, he said that there's still a bit of rock star tendency about this side.
That's what I'm saying. It felt like there was a little bit of sick cunt still in the side.
Yeah.
And they came up against Big Red, Papa Lee.
They came up against a bunch of townies who don't give a fuck.
Who don't give a fuck. Who had been challenged as well, Tom.
Challenge townies will fucking get you.
Oi, challenge a townie and see how you go.
Yeah, couple of fucking straight tooth, smoothed, big city soft cunts.
Yeah.
You're coming up against some tough townies.
A lot of one-arm Jeff about that performance from the Raiders.
Yeah, seriously.
He had one arm, but he'd throw. One-arm Jeff.
And was one-arm Jeff, was he the scary guy in your town or was it Jarch's?
Dubbo.
Yeah, Dubbo. One-arm Jeff.
Yeah.
He could fucking throw him.
He could throw him and get punched darts. You don't challenge one-arm Jeff and you don't challenge the Raiders because that's what happened.
Well, the Raiders...
And these prissy little boys with their fucking wax chest got found out.
Yeah, they did.
Fact.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do. They shit their little dacks and they ran home.
They came up against a couple of townies who may have had a trolley pole stuffed down their pants.
And were ready to throw down because they'd been challenged.
Yeah.
And that's what you got. 32-22. Great game.
Do not challenge townies.
Well, if you do, you're going to find out, bruh.
Yeah, you fuck around, find out.
Fuck around, find
Go around
out.
challenging townies like that.
But, and again, another great game of rugby league. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Credit to you and I, civilian-wise, getting on Jesse Arthur's two or more.
Well, that was smart.
That was just
And he
good
scored them
honesty.
back-to-back.
Yeah, he did. Which was good to just put that to bed early.
Yeah, it was. Tigers-Eels game.
Yeah.
4 o'clock, glamour spot, Sunday afternoon. The first 20 minutes, some of the worst football I've ever watched. That's just a fact.
No, it was disgusting.
Some of the worst football. Poor old Cooper Cronk was almost silent in the call.
Yeah.
He was so disgusted by what he'd seen.
Yeah.
He was just going, someone's got to kick the ball early in the set. Someone needs to change what's going on. No one was completing. I don't think a set was completed in the first 20 minutes.
No one was completing.
Kick the ball early, one hit up and then kick the fucking thing. Like he was blowing up deluxe at the footy he'd seen.
Well, it's sort of torture to have someone of his ilk have to commentate a Tigers-Eels
Mate,
game.
he was as disgusted as I've seen anyone in a call. Thank the heavens that they got going off the back of Taruva, who was good, busy. And they clicked into gear. They came out of the. It's almost like there was an awakening after 20 minutes. Like, oh, okay, we're not the Tigers of old. Yeah. We're not the Tigers of the last 15 years. We've recruited heavily. We've
got good players on the team on the field right now.
We've bought in the off season.
Did you see the claw they were doing?
We're going to follow. Like they're talking about following Benji to the bitter end, right?
Yeah.
You know, like there's some cult shit about that. And
yeah.
You just don't expect them to be playing old school footy when they've got a new vibe going on.
They are getting a bit culty out there.
Which I like.
No, so do I.
Some need to change.
Yeah.
And if a cult's going to do it, then so be it. But something needed to change, and it did. Thank fuck. And then they just rolled the fuck out of them. The Eels look like shit.
Dude, the Eels, like you hear, you want to.
How about Streety talking shit?
Streety.
It's like, mate, have you been watching your side? Yeah. You've been deplorable.
Yeah, Streety like fucking. Oh yeah, the Manly loss. I'm like, you have had like 70 points put on you in the last 2 weeks, bucko. How about you shut the fuck up? Hey? How about you worry about fighting Liam Moore, April 26th or 7th, Alpha Events?
The Eels were disgusting yesterday with a capital D. Yeah, the Tigers turned it on, and credit to them, and I'm happy for them.
Yeah, but they got the spoon last year. Like the Tigers turned it on because the Tigers are now good, but you still didn't. You let in 32 points. You want to hear a man all at sea, a man who's lost in the ocean, floating. Donk Riles after the game was like, yeah, like fucking, you know.
Or you're alive now, aren't you, bro?
Yeah, you know, you're fucking living when you're coaching the Eels.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit.
What's the point of a big cock if you can't get it in?
That's it. It's ornamental at that point.
You're not dead yet, mate.
No.
You can put your cock in a museum when you're dead.
Yeah, there's no point putting.
But at the
hanging
moment,
in the loo.
there's living to be done.
Yeah, there is. And right now, can you play this? I don't know what this video is here, but it's probably not him being very happy. Might have been talking about Dylan
pissed.
Brown.
He looks a few boos for Dylan on the every time he's on the big screen. What do you make of that?
Was that? Yeah, no, I can't hear it up there. It's pretty soundproof. What I make of that?
Yeah.
That's footy. That's just emotional fans, and and they're passionate, and obviously potentially that's the way they feel. But yeah, it doesn't change the way how we think of him.
What did you make of his performance though, Jason?
Dylan's?
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Yeah, it was steady. It was he's improved on last week. We're still working on some things with Dylan in his game, but he's to point out Dylan's performance, and I kind of got a rough idea where you're going with it, but there's a lot happening around him. And he needs some things
He's not answering.
around him to go well, so that he can help him go well as well. So,
well said.
Yeah, like
Donk solid
he's
C.
improving, and there's little parts of his game I'm sure he'd like to work on, but there's a lot happening around him before we can critique his performance too.
All right, theme of the week. Losing coaches hate their halfbacks or halves.
Yeah.
Not always a halfback. He's obviously a 6. But losing coaches just displeased with their halves.
Someone was making a good point about, because, there's all the whole Dylan Brown Newcastle thing. It's like, he's so much not a 7 that when their 7's out, they're bringing in Volkman instead of moving Dylan Brown to 7.
Yeah, he's not a 7. He's a 6. I would say this about Dylan Brown. I was pleased to see he wasn't moving for the money.
No, it's just for the long-term deal.
I was pleased to see that.
I mean, if you're the Knights and you've gone, fuck, we could have got him for 10 years on $600,000.
Well, no, it's not about the money,
No.
All he wanted was 10 years, so you should have given him 400.
That's what I mean. You go 10 years, $400,000, $4 million.
See, that's his classic error in negotiation. Yeah. You start low and you move up, and he's obviously, I'm going to take him at his word, Tom. He was going to take low.
You can't come down from 1.3.
Exactly. He said openly, publicly, Tom, that it wasn't about the money. He said that. It was about the length of the deal. Yep. So you should have offered him 200, 150.
Well, you offer him.
What's minimum?
Listen, I don't know that you can offer him minimum, but you can offer him market rate for someone of his skill, because the NRL were like, hey, you can't offer him 150.
Okay, so offer him 700.
Let's go 7 to 9.
Yep.
Over 10.
Yep. And you would have taken it.
No ratchet clauses.
Because it's not about money.
No, it's not. It's about the length of the deal. That was Donk Riles is all at sea there. He didn't answer that question. No, Read just goes, what did you make of Dylan's performance? That's all he asked. And he's like, well...
But Donk, in defence of the penis, Tom, if I may.
Yeah. Hell of a penis.
This is his second week in front of the media after a game, right? He hasn't found his political voice yet.
Yep.
He can't answer questions without answering them effectively, and we've seen that there. He's stumbling, he's stuttering, he's stammering.
Yeah.
Shit-house stuff from Donk.
It was not.
But he'll get better.
He will. He'll improve.
He'll get better with the run.
No, that's right.
He'll be good for the run.
Is he the first? Is he the only new coach this year? The only rookie coach?
Yes.
Oh, Christian Wolf, Dolphins. Is that it?
Yeah, Christian Wolf, Dolphins, yep.
Who I haven't really heard speak.
Rookie coach, yes.
But rookie coaches, yes.
So well done the Tigers. Congratulations.
Well done to the Tigers, dude. Well done.
Stuff.
Good to see.
No, great to see.
Good to see. I like to see it. I like seeing the Eels lose. I feel bad for the Eels fans. That one commenter there on that Instagram post, I think his name was like Lexo75 or some shit.
Oh, yeah, I know him, yeah.
He doesn't make a bad point where he's like Cartwright and Madison both in New South Wales Cup right now.
Yeah. Mate, the Eels are a shit show. They're a mess. They're raking a spoon this year.
But I feel bad for them. I want that. I don't want the Eels. I know Eels fans, we have a bit of back and forth with Eels fans sometimes. I want you to know I feel bad. This isn't a hate thing. I feel bad for the Eels and their fans. Because rugby league wouldn't be enjoyable for them right now. You bet one of your best players leaves. You can't.
At least Mitch Moses re-sign. That's a good thing.
Correct. He's out for 10 weeks.
Great. 8 or 10?
I don't know. He's out.
Not looking good, bruv.
Not looking good, bruv.
Final game of the round, Bulldogs 40, defeat the Titans 24. Let a few tries in the Bulldogs.
Well, they got some injuries in the game, dude. They've like Burton's out for 6-ish, 4 to 6.
Not good.
Kickow out for 4 to 6
yes,
now.
Yes.
Pretty fucking, like, good win, but at what cost sort of stuff.
Their last game at Belmore for a while. What's doing with that? Are they?
I think they just only have I think it's their only game this year. Is that right?
But then I thought I saw Hectic Fred say something around like they're not there back there for years. Is that?
Dunno.
Is there
Shout
any
out to
truth to
Hectic
that?
Fred.
Yeah, big shout out to him.
Yeah, look, I'm not 100% sure, but it was looking good. But then when Burton went off, you could notice him. You noticed he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they didn't score again at 46 minutes and then not again until the 77th time.
Des in the post-match presser, Des wasn't happy.
Well, why would you be?
Well, obviously Des not happy about the team's performance, sure. But what he's also not happy about is...
A lot of bottom four about him this year, the Titans.
He started off by going, there's been 17 games of rugby league already played this season and we're only just getting our first game in. He's fucking ropeable that the Titans had a bye round 1 and then with the last game round 2. He was like, I'm not using that as an excuse for losing because it's not like every team's played 17 games.
Why does that matter?
I think he feels disrespected as a club. Well, do you want to get your brand out there a little earlier in the fucking season? Like, if you just think about your team,
from that perspective, yeah. I mean, you're coming up against the Dogs who've only played one game. So
it's not about that, though. It's about
brand Titan.
It's about just going that the Titans haven't been cited.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you. Off the back of the games you've played, probably best.
Well, yeah, maybe you're right.
Off the back of the game you've played, rather, probably best you were last. Bit forgettable. Do you want that? You want that brandished in prime time Friday night? I don't think so, bro.
I don't think so. You could have gone 3 p.m. Saturday, I think is what
I reckon you 3 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. Saturday is where you wanted that to be. You actually got too
and
much.
6 p.m. Friday.
You're actually in a glamour spot. 6 p.m. Sunday night that's a big deal.
Yeah, but it's too late.
Why does that matter? It's about eyeballs.
He wants the games. He wants to be a little bit earlier. I think he feels a bit left out.
I don't agree with that.
He feels left out.
Listen, I love Des. All right?
Des feels left out.
But I don't agree with Des.
You don't think Des has been left out?
I think getting left out...
Last kid picked in fucking gym class sort of stuff.
Getting left out would have been your first game at 3 p.m. on Saturday. That's left out.
No, dude. Last game of round 2.
Ratings-wise,
but it's not
it's
just
eyeballs.
Yeah, but it's about wanting to be a part of it. You know, give me a bit. I want to fucking have a bit of a go. Let me be in. Let me be amongst it.
All right.
Let our results be spoken about on the Sunday scrum on Triple M and whatever else.
All right. You don't want to be picked last? Well, don't be so fucking boring and forgettable. That's why you're picked last.
See, I don't think they're a boring side. I think they play, at least previous seasons, they play an interesting brand of rugby league football.
The Titans...
But they don't win.
The Titans...
Yeah.
As a club,
they're hard to remember.
They're boring.
You don't remember.
I'm not saying they play a boring brand of football. I quite enjoy the way they play. But if you think of the Titans, what do you feel?
Nothing.
That's why you're last.
Sorry, Clarkey. Sure, that hurts.
It's true.
It is true. But I'm just. And
the Titans have got some fucking players I really love. Foz, obviously. AJ Brimson, obviously. Tino, obviously. Fafita, obviously. Campbell. They've got great players, but as a club, you put them all together, I feel nothing. That's just how I feel.
Yep. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. But
I would expect not.
No, but I am advocating for Des here. I just wanted to at least get his message out there to see how you felt.
Yep.
About what Des had to say.
And I'm pushing back by saying you're exactly where you should be.
Yeah.
Based on your vibe you're giving off.
In fact, you're actually saying you're in a better slot than you deserve.
Well, in terms of eyeballs, you're in a better slot than you deserve. I understand the idea of getting picked last, and I go, well, you got picked last because no one knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah. Yep. Fair.
Dogs are building a centre of excellence.
Out there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Belmore.
so that's why it's the last game at Belmore for a while. Centre of excellence coming
Thank you very much.
Listen, dude, when things start going well and you get a bit of money in the door, the first thing you need to be doing is building a centre of excellence.
We've already got one. We've already got one.
We've got one.
Yeah. So.
Of course we do.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, Dogs did it. Tigers, they probably did it a little prematurely. You bring it in hairdressers and shit. Like, you need to have...
Well, they did it wrong.
Yeah, they did. Penrith, I think is Penrith building one now? Is that, or have they already got one?
No, they're redoing their stadium.
Sort of centre of excellency. Yep. Maybe that we're going to touch.
Anyway, great round of footy. We've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Supercharged Super Rugby is live and on demand on Stan Sport. In round 6, Friday night sees Moana Pacifica looking to build upon their late start to the season against the high-flying Chiefs, Edward.
That's right, Tom. Saturday opens up with the Highlanders taking on the Reds, Blues versus the Crusaders, and capped off with an all-Aussie battle as the Tars host the Brumbies. Tom, need a win?
God, they need a win. Closing off round 6 on Sunday, it's the Force and the Fijian Drua in Perth. The only place to watch every match ad-free, live and on demand is on Stan Sport.
Add Stan Sport to your Stan subscription for only $15 a month. Head to stan.com.au/sport now.
Clear that throat, Reedy.
Oh, mate, my throat's a nightmare. How you going?
Yeah, good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
That's the way. Welcome to the show.
G'day, mate.
How are you?
Good. We're well. Very well for Monday.
Yeah, good for a Monday, mate.
Oh, you fooled me with that post about, was it Swyftx? I'm a celebrity. I thought you were in there.
Yeah.
Mate, do you know how many people I fool with that?
I rang Tommy and said, what about Ed going on?
Yeah.
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. That'll do, mate.
Yeah.
He said, no, it's a G up.
Yeah, shit,
okay.
yeah. Mate, just a good Photoshop job. And then even people that know me relatively well, even people that know me really well thought it was true. And I'm like, I'm having a kid in like 2 weeks. I'm not going to the fucking jungle.
No, my sister called me up and asked about it as well.
Yeah.
No, you listen. If you see us in the jungle, Reedy, you know something's gone terribly wrong.
I know. You wouldn't last long.
No, mate.
Fuck no. No aircon out there, mate.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not my racket.
Now, listen, Reedy, this is obviously a new segment for 2025 for us. We've never done this before. It's a pleasure to have you on board, but it's Gossip Guys. Now, we aren't, we're not the sort of rugby league analysts of any note. Myself and Edward, we do trade in innuendo, rumour, crisis, scandal, gossip, salacious.
Picture the glossies, you know, like we want the hot.
I've got to be careful, mate. I can't get too salacious or gossip.
No, listen.
We want hot goss.
That's caused me enough drama already this year. Only Nicholas just started talking to me again.
Reedy, give us the goss.
You got to give us the hot goss, mate. Now, listen, the first one we wanted to get your thoughts on, or the goss on, is Ponga to play for the Kiwis. It was sort of, it's been spoken about, but I'm like, you've got ties with you're close with the Ponga family. How the hell is that even possible?
Well, it's possible. Well, obviously he's got Kiwi heritage. His dad was born in New Zealand. So he's got family and he's got the bloodlines. The second part of that is, now he played for Australia in the Nines a long time ago now, when they had a Nines tournament, right? So by virtue of that, he's ineligible to play for the Kiwis. But the International Rugby League has the potential to overturn that, to reverse that. And because it was a bit of a tin pot tournament, right? I mean, I can't remember what year it was, but it was a bit of a novelty act, right? That they would consider that if Kalen applied. Now, it'll hinge on Kalen applying to switch his allegiance, and obviously that would rob him out of state of origin. He loves playing state of origin. So, I don't think anyone knows where Kalen stands on it right now. But it is feasible.
So,
because the International Board would consider it. And I think if he applied, I reckon they'd overturn it and let him play for New Zealand.
But
it is possible.
So if you play Origin first before you represent a country, then you are not ruled ineligible. It's only do you know what I mean? Because like you can't do both. You can't play Origin and Kiwis, but if you play Origin first, you can then go, I've had my fill. Yes. I'm going to go and play for another country.
Yes, and obviously that would be the situation here because Carlin loves playing for Queensland, loves playing Origin. But once if he went down that path and applied to play for New Zealand and it was approved, he wouldn't be able to play Origin. So he'd have to give that up.
All right.
Can I put a gun to your head, Reedy, and ask if you think he'll play for New Zealand?
I don't think he will because I think he loves playing Origin. I think the fear is that maybe he wouldn't mind playing for the All Blacks at some point in his life.
Right.
And he's only contracted for another 2 years. So I don't think the Kiwi jersey, rugby league jersey, means as much to him as potentially, and I don't know this is just my perception of it from talking to the family a lot over the years. I know he's spoken in the past a long time ago about the All Black jersey, and we all know what that All Black jersey means in New Zealand. So I think that would be the lure for him. I don't necessarily think playing for the Kiwis would be as significant because obviously he wants to play Origin.
Yeah, okay. All right. I mean, listen, we know how close you are. He calls you Uncle Reedy, doesn't he?
I think that's a slight exaggeration. But I do consider myself part of the extended family.
Well, that's good. That's nice.
Good. So do we.
Yes, yeah, we do as well.
He's a good man. His dad's a good man, Andre Ponga, one of the greats.
Yeah, nice. Now, the next one, Cowboys have just been pumped back-to-back weeks.
Rectally, Ready.
Yeah, that was there. That's
Yeah, it was ugly.
back
It was
door.
No lube.
Mate, there's rumours, there's goss on the wind that Todd Payton's days are numbered after 2 rounds of rugby league. Is there any truth to that? Is that early? Is he the first man up on the chopping block?
But it's 2 rounds. I think it might be a little bit tad premature. But he made the finals last year, went into week 2 of the finals last year. So he's got that collateral in the bank. But I would say things don't look good up there. And the next 3 weeks are pretty ugly. I think they go Brisbane, Canberra, maybe Penrith. I think it is. I'm not sure.
Yeah. You're kidding.
So if they go 0-5, I mean the drums are already sort of beating. They're not beating loudly, but they're beating. So if he goes 0-5, I mean there's intense pressure on him because you just can't do that. And that's a club that's been reasonably successful in recent years, and he's done a pretty good job. But when you go down that path, and then you also consider he dropped Jeremiah Nanai. Jason Tomalolo came back in Queensland Cup last week. I don't think he's played Queensland Cup in over a decade, Jason Tomalolo.
He'd be an expensive Queensland Cup player.
Wouldn't he? What? The most expensive ever. So, I think it depends on how the next few weeks play out. If they don't go well and they don't show any improvement and they play like they have been, of course it's going to be under pressure. It's rugby league, right? You don't win, you're under pressure. It's always easier get rid of a coach than it is to clean out a dressing room. So, the next 3 weeks are huge for him.
And who do you reckon they'd have their eyes on?
Well, I mean, there's an obvious one, which is Josh Hannay. I mean, he's been banging on the door for a while now to be an NRL coach, and he's from up there. He played up there, so he's the obvious one. But, I've got to stress, Toddy's got a little bit of credit in the bank for what he's done the last couple of years, and he's got time to turn it round. But, I mean, Josh is the obvious one if they decide to go down a different path. I mean, he was unlucky not to get the Parramatta job, and he's long been considered a coach in waiting, so he would seem a good fit. But Toddy's got time still.
That's the best thing about rugby league. You make the finals last year, second week, okay? But you lose the first 2 games, and you might lose the next 3, so we're going to sack you.
Yeah, we might just.
I think it's the way they lost, though. I mean, they lost. They were so insipid.
Well, no,
right?
lube,
I mean,
that's it.
You said it, no lube. So it was just ugly, right? So, and you can just see it just doesn't seem to be getting any better. And with Todd, I mean, you make big decisions like dropping Jeremiah Nano after 1 week, and you make Jason Tomalolo comes back through Queensland Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how that would impact a playing group because they're pretty tight up there, right? When you're in a town like that, you're a tight playing group. So, and Jason Tomalolo is so respected in North Queensland and Townsville. The fact that he's come back in Queensland Cup, it just, I don't know. I'm sure it didn't sit
And you've got Robson who's already decided to leave. Like maybe there's just a bit of rot up there, Reedy. I don't know. I don't want to say it after 2 rounds.
Rugby league rot.
Rugby league rot.
You just said it.
I did just say it, but I didn't want to say it. But I did say it.
Had to.
Had to say it. This is a question without notice, but I just thought of it. And I would be interested just to get your thoughts. No, it's all right. It's nothing crazy, nothing hairy. No lube chat here. Shane Flanagan's, the way he spoke about Lockie Ilias in the post-game press conference, where basically someone asked him about Lockie's performance. He's like, well, you're here. What do you reckon? And then I think, and it was reported somewhere that he actually called Lockie to apologise to him for the way he spoke. That's a pretty crook start to a year to be already talking like. I mean, you should never really be talking about your halfback like that, right? In public.
Well, no, and I think Flano's obviously recognised he made a mistake there, given he's called Lockie to apologise for and to sort of clear the air. So Flano's a pretty smart guy, right? He's been around a long time, done a lot in the game, and I think he realises that he could have handled that better. But he's a pretty passionate guy, Flano, and when you get him in press conferences, he's passionate, but he's also he doesn't mask how he feels, right? We love those guys, but occasionally they say things they probably regret in hindsight, and I think this is one of those situations. I think Flano said it in the heat of the battle when he come off a disappointing loss, a game they should have won. Someone asked him the question that he obviously reacted poorly to, and as I said, I mean he's reached out to Lockie to clear the air. I mean he obviously knew he did the wrong thing. So, but what it also tells us is I reckon Lockie's under pressure to hold on to that number 7 jersey.
Who the fuck are they going to get in there?
Well, that's the $1 million question. But they've got some blokes running around. I think their Reggies are going all right, actually. I think they've got a half, and Reggie's gone pretty well. So,
Jesus, poor old Lockie Ilias. He's gone from the South's greatest ever halfback, being touted as, to,
Now
getting a mild spray.
Yeah, and getting dropped from the Dragons.
You've got to remember, Lockie's coming back from a really injury too. I mean, his leg injury was shocking. So it's going to take him some time to find his confidence to hit his stride.
Yeah.
He's a good footballer. He'll find his way.
Is Cheese going to the Roosters this year? Is he? To the Rabbitohs.
Rabbit.
Cheese. Is he going to get released this year?
I reckon this deal will get done later this week, potentially, at South.
Really? That's goss.
Two-year deal, about 1.15, I'm told. And then they'll have to thrash out whether they get him straight away. Obviously, they don't want him straight away because he's injured at the moment. But
you had a bit of a crack at him. You had a bit of a crack at him in the papers on the weekend, or at least you were speaking like the Roosters were. Well, like that the Roosters weren't happy about him talking about the Rabbitohs and all that sort of shit.
Well, I love Brandon. I'd never have a crack at Brandon. How dare you? He's a great man. Well, I can't imagine. You know how they hate each other, those two clubs.
But don't you reckon he's got a right to start talking about another club when they've gone out and literally replaced him publicly?
Well, no, he does. He does. But they also have got the right, the Roosters, to be peeved at him coming out and talking that way. So, I'm sympathetic for Brandon because you're right. He's basically been told, mate, there's nothing here for you. Go and do your best. So he's gone and done that. It looks like he's going to get a deal at the Rabbitohs with Wayne. Then the issue becomes, do they let him go straight away? Now, I don't think South's got a huge amount of salary cap for him. He's on a big deal, $900,000 a year at the Roosters. So if he's going to get out mid-year, that's $450 he's owed. I don't think South's got that in the cap. So what it's going to take is probably the Roosters to chip in a bit of cash to make it happen. And my sense is they would do that because I think they're just happy to move on.
Yeah,
I think they'd rather. Even if it means Brandon goes to South, I think they'd be happy to, I want to put this delicately, but see the back of him, right? Because I just don't think it's worked. It hasn't worked for either party. Brandon's struggled to find form and he's had injuries. And the Roosters, they've obviously been so disappointed. They've said to him, go do your best on the open market. So I reckon the sooner they sever ties with each other, the better it is for everyone.
Fair.
Interesting.
I'm looking
this week.
This week.
Okay.
There you go. There's some goss right there.
Like that.
I don't know the brand will go straight away.
You said this
the deal
week,
will
mate.
get done.
The deal will get done.
The deal will get done.
The deal will get done.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, no, that's good. And then just lastly, mate, Bellamy, it's back in the bloody headlines, or at least it's about to be.
It's our yearly Craig Bellamy. What's he going to do? And he'll keep us all guessing for 3 weeks. Then he'll go, I'm going around again next year, boys.
Jesus.
So his managers meet him this week to have a chat with him about what he wants to do. Melbourne want to extend him, actually. He's got 1 year left on that mega deal he signed 5 years ago. So
what's he on? What's he, mate?
He's on, it's a bit funny because of the way they've structured it, but I think he's on at least 1.5, maybe up to $2 million a year, Craig, when, the way they've structured the deal.
Worth every penny.
Well, he is, and he's the highest paid coach in the game, and so he should be. But they want to extend him. There's talk about another 2 years after next year. I'm not sure Craig will do that. I reckon Craig will he's happy to go year to year, play the guessing game with us all. So,
like Sonny Bill, Sonny used to do that, didn't he? Sonny Bill just sign year contracts and get the most amount of money possible.
Yeah, no, he was very good at it, Sonny. But Craig will go again. He'll go again. He's loving it. He's got a good team down there. He might win a comp this year. So.
Yeah, he's got a great side. I think we just, with Craig, we just assume you're going around again, mate. And if you're not, you tell us instead of doing this every year.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what they think. Yeah, I think they're happy to just let him ride because they know the longer he coaches, the more he gets into the year, the more invested he gets, and the less likely it is they'll actually give it away. So it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's probably trying to have these conversations in the off season every year. Like, no, mate, we'll just talk to you. Let's book you in for like April, sort of. You know what I mean?
After you've won 5 of your first 6 games, let's have a chat.
Yeah. Well, the moods are high. Reedy, great debut, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Good on you, mate.
No worries.
Good goss.
Good
and mate, we can if they want to hear more Reedy, obviously you're on NRL 360. But also, what's your podcast you do with Triple M?
Footy talk on Tuesdays.
Footy talk on Tuesdays. The great Buzz Rothfield.
360 tonight. Tune in.
Good on you, mate.
Beautiful. Thanks, Reedy.
Thanks, Reedy. See you, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Bit of Supercoach, Edward. Bit of Supercoach chat. I tell you who's taking it seriously this year. This guy.
These guys.
Well, these guys. They're a couple of DILFs over here taking Supercoach.
DILF 1, DILF 2.
3-time DILF of the year. Thank you very much. Now, we want to welcome on a new partner with us.
Yes, we do.
2025 for the Supercoach season. And it's our dear friends at Swyftx who have partnered with us and our Supercoach journey.
Welcome aboard, Swyftx. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, we've been holding off, punters and dribblers, of announcing the supporter of our Supercoach League, which we told you to join. We promised there'd be prizes. We promised. Well, someone's come on board with a big sack, and they're Swyftx.
Yep.
To make this thing really pop.
You can still actually join our league, I believe.
Of course you can.
The league code is 100632.
We're going to keep this. We're going to keep the league going. We will do a cutoff at some point, but not just yet. So get into the league, okay?
There's like
and make
5
your
or
dreams come
6,000 in
true.
there. Now, Eddie, how'd you go this week, bro?
Mate, how many points did you get?
I've just asked you that, so you answer that.
I got
question.
11.29.
11.29, did you?
Yep.
What did old Tommy Burms get?
And then what's your overall rank?
Oh, where are we? I got 12.50.
And your overall rank? So in the Supercoach, right?
We've got the about even, and we've got our Supercoach. There's an about even.
What
one,
are you coming in? What are you? Fuck the about even
No, I
one.
know.
What are you coming in the Hello Sport comp?
publicly?
Yep.
3,554.
So I'm coming 2,721. So I'm beating you.
Yeah, you are beating me.
Yeah, so I'm beating
But
you.
I beat you this week.
No, but I'm beating you.
But I beat you this
Yeah,
week.
but it's about overall.
Yeah, no, but last week was a mulligan. Last week was a mulligan. I had Heath Mason, for fuck's
Right.
sake.
Okay.
I had Heath Mason.
Okay. Now, I want to shout out who is winning. Dill's Dogs. Dylan is in the lead in the Hello Sports Supercoach. Scored 1,508 points, Tom.
Who's in his team?
Total points, 2,927 with an average of 1,463. God damn.
Can you go to Dill's Dogs, please, top one?
So Dill's Dogs, he's got Connor Watson in the hooker, Tom.
Same.
Terrell May in forward with
Same.
Tino. So have I. He's got Martin and E. Roberts from the Roosters on the bench. He's
Who
got
is front rows? Taylor, May and
Tino.
Tino.
And then Martin from fucking the Raiders and Roberts from the Roosters on the bench. He's got Yo, Lucas, and Horsburgh in the back row. Any super coach worth its salt has Corey Horsburgh in this. Have you not? Oh,
No.
you're a fucking gimp, mate.
Well, I beat you, but I know.
You're not beating me.
No, but I beat you.
It's
this
about
week.
overall,
I beat
bruh.
you this week, but
Listen.
I know, but I beat you this week, so you can't say that. But I should have Corey Horsburgh.
In the halves, you've got Nico Hines and Duffy.
Nico Hines.
Bit of a cash cow from the Cowboys there. Punters, Munster and Metcalf. Metcalf, I had last week. I was like, just hang on to him, Eddie. Give him a chance at redemption. Give him a chance to be great. Give him a chance to bolster things for the dribblers. That's my side.
Did you do it?
I didn't play him, but I kept him, which is good for me.
I played him.
Because he got 117.
Yeah, dude. He fucked the house down. How'd Nico go?
86.
Not bad.
In the centres, wingers, he's got Garrick, goes without saying, who only had 54, but that's all right. Brimson, Marju, and Stone Street. He's got Jesse Arthurs, who I've also got, Tom, who's been going really well for me. Shout out to Jesse Arthurs. Shibasaki, Kashi, and Toya from the Roosters, also a Kashi.
Yep.
Then in the fullbox, he's got Ponga and Iongi.
Question.
Iongi also
Kashi.
a Kashi.
That's just where you're going to make money on him,
Yep.
Because I haven't done Supercoach seriously for a couple of years, so there's a lot of things that I don't know.
Okay, good.
Like flex
What a
players
Kashi is.
or a Kashi. I assume I know, but you know.
Mate, can I be honest with you? Flex was brought in this year, obviously. I'm not flexing right yet.
So flex was brought in this year.
Yep.
No, who's your flex?
Tamale.
Okay, you're not. You're actually an idiot.
I just said I'm not flexing.
No, you're an
right.
idiot.
I know I'm not.
I know I was Heath Mason. I had Heath Mason, so don't worry.
Who'd you have this week?
Huh?
Who'd you have this week?
Callum Ponga.
Right, okay.
So you need to grow up.
No, I know.
You need to no. You need to grow up.
I know.
You need to learn. So
I prefaced.
No, but I
prefaced the start of the fucking.
Do you know what a flex does?
Yes.
Do you actually know what a flex does, mate?
Do you want me
What
to
does it
explain
do?
to you?
Come on.
Do you want me to explain to you? Yep. So it gets the best of your bench players' scores. So it'll sub one of them out.
It subs out your worst player.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it subs out your worst performing player.
Yes.
So now listen, I had Heath Mason last week, but it's been a long time between.
Which is
drinks.
why
but
I'm an idiot for having Tamale.
I know.
Which
now.
I know that.
Right. So you're an idiot.
Yeah, I know that.
You're a
But
fucking
I
idiot.
started the
But
segment
I've got
saying that.
Tamale in my back. She's a Kashi, right?
Yeah.
Tamale's a good Kashi.
He's a Kashi, yeah.
But to have him as your flex, Edward, is disgusting.
I'm going to move some cash around to get Ponga this week.
I've got Ponga, I got Oangi, and I got Turbo.
Because what's he expected to fucking do price-wise? He's expected to go up 57 grand.
You have to get Ponga into your side.
Well, I'm going to bring him in this week.
Wake up.
I'm bringing him in this week. Okay.
Wake up, mate.
The question is...
Do you have Connor Watson?
So this week I'm going to bring in C. Watson. I'm going to bring in K. Ponga, most likely.
Just that's a reactive decision from you. Who are your hookers?
Sandon Smith and Mamazella.
That's not a great hooker rotation, I'm going to be honest with you.
Really? You don't like Sandon Smith?
He's not a hooker for starters, but
he can play at hooker, which is convenient.
But he's not.
Which is convenient.
Yeah, of course, it's convenience. But you know who can do both as well? Connor Watson.
How'd Sandon go last week?
Probably had a good game.
He had 76.
So don't shit down me throat. Don't masood me, lad.
What did Connor Watson get, bros?
I'm probably going to fuck off Mamazella
103 for
Watson.
Connor.
103 for Connor.
That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, Tom, you're not beating me in the Hello Sports Supercoach, so you just relax.
That's okay, but I
there,
did beat you this week.
Doesn't wear. It's about overall.
Yeah, but we're one round in and I've beaten you, so it's one round apiece. I'm beating you.
No, it's about overall round, and you are getting pumped.
I understand that.
You're 700 spots behind me, mate.
Round 2,
Keep
buddy.
the fuck up.
It's round 2.
Keep the fuck up, Tom.
Tamale as your flex.
Keep the fuck up.
You're a joke.
I said that. You can't
You didn't
joke
even
me.
play Metcalf, you fucking loser.
You can't joke me if
Tell you
I
another cashy.
acknowledged it.
Tell you another cashy. Humphreys.
I haven't got him. Have you?
Yeah, of course I did, mate.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's he cost?
3-ish.
Do you know that?
Yeah, well, it's from memory. I don't know. Fucking
Well, I don't just.
committed to memory, mate.
You
He's
didn't
not a Tamale cashy.
No.
Or a Toya cashy.
So, Dill's Dogs in the lead. Well done, son.
Well done, Dill.
Have we got the overall prize announcement?
No, listen, we aren't announcing that just yet. We will be
Okay.
announcing the overall prize. We're not doing it right yet. We're just getting all the pieces in place for the final prize.
Okay.
But Swyftx on board. We
Thank
love
you,
Swyftx. They're doing a thing right now for the punter and the dribbler.
A bonus, sign-up bonus.
Well, a sign-up bonus.
Sorry, Tom, just jumping in real quick. I'm going to put the sign-up link in the show notes. So if you want to go make an account with Swyftx via the link in the show notes, you'll get $20 worth of Bitcoin as a cheeky little sign-on bonus.
For free.
Just to kick off your fucking...
For free.
Your trading journey.
For free.
For free.
Fuck, that's generous.
Yeah, it is good. Swyftx,
Yep.
$20, Bitcoin. And
Love
Bitcoin, listen, it might it fluctuates, but it's trending upwards. So that $20, before you know it.
Mate, you hold that for 10 years, you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. This is not financial advice. Anyway, welcome, Swyftx.
Love it. Thanks. And well done to Dill's Dogs.
Dill's Dogs. Where'd Rue come? Can you tell me what Rue got? I'm just interested to know what Rue and Timmy got, just so I can peg myself against them. Not peg them, you know what I mean?
You don't want to peg them?
Not really.
Do you want to get pegged by them?
No, not really either, do you? No, it's not for me, man. But I also beat Rando in the about even. How'd you go in the about even one?
I'll have to have a little look.
I beat Rando. You suck, Rando.
I lost to Matty the Waterboy. You got 13-10. 13-10.
That's a good score. Rando sucked.
Listen, not me best week. I had the C on Tom Trebojevic, who didn't go that well.
I had the C on Nathan Cleary, who didn't do great either.
Debo.
What do you do, mate? What do you do?
You move on to the next week.
Yeah.
You pull up your rugby league socks.
Yeah.
And you get back to work.
You get back
and
to
by
work.
I mean back to the spreadies, back to the analysis, back to
the lab.
Back to the lab,
Quant
Tom.
models.
Back to the lab.
Punters and dribblers, Good Day Daily multivitamins are the best multivitamin in the game. You don't want to see our inbox from certain people getting after us, but we're making waves.
We're making serious waves. And obviously I'm a dad now. I don't know if I've mentioned that this podcast, but I am. And the one consistent I've had in my life for the past 10 days, outside of my child that's now there, is that I've been drinking Good Day, and it's just been getting me through those tough little moments, bro.
Well,
Just
Edward,
getting me through.
You don't want to get sick. You want to make sure that you're doing your best to avoid sickness. You can't avoid sickness
But
forever.
I want that late day energy.
You need late day energy. You need to be taking care of your vitamins and your minerals, bro. And the only way to do that is with a multivitamin of some sort. And what we're doing here is we're giving you one. Not giving it to you. Obviously, we're giving you a good deal on it, though.
Yeah.
Dribblers, 10% off. subscription, that'll make it 20% off.
So much easier than fucking around. Have I eaten correctly today? Have I got to go out and buy all these veggies and cook it up? No, just take the sachet. Done. Job done. Job done.
Don't have to
BeGoodHealth.com.
choke down any tablets.
BeGoodHealth.com.au. Code Dribblers. 10% off. Pair with the subscription for 20.
Eddie, what is it about former Australian greats and getting caught up with the law at the moment? Because as far as I can see, you've got Stuart MacGill found guilty of being involved in some way with a cocaine deal. Maybe it was like introducing people or some shit. And then you've got Rocky Elsom of 75 Test Caps fame, of Skipper of the Nation fame, of phenomenal flanker fame. He's been fucking sentenced...
Gloves fame.
Of gloves fame, of former Bulldogs player fame. He's been sentenced to 2 years in a French prison for... I'm just going to say allegedly, I can't remember the exact thing, but like embezzlement, misappropriation of funds. He's on the fucking run. There's a global manhunt.
Misusing corporate funds.
Huh?
Misusing corporate funds.
Misusing corporate funds.
2 years.
Global manhunt, Edward.
I tell you what. When this broke last year, and then you listen to Rocky's side, he goes, mate, the club never went better. The club has never gone better than when I was there. And when he left, it fell apart. That's what Rocky reckons. Yeah. And I'm sitting here now on March whatever, thinking to myself, why the fuck did you get sentenced for 2 years?
17. Yeah, why'd you get... Is this the French being a bit fucking... Is this the French just being woke?
Did you do too good a job?
Yeah.
Is this payback for Australia beating the French in the 99 World Cup? I know Rocky wasn't there, but he was a Wallaby.
Well, yeah, right. So
is this payback?
This could be payback. We're finally getting our comeuppance.
Because Rocky, and I'm taking Rocky at his word, said the club has never gone better than when he was there, and when he left, it fell apart.
And I mean, why would he lie about that?
So they've given him 2 years for success. Is that that's what I'm hearing?
Sounds like, mate.
He'd initially been given 5.
What?
Well, no, he was given 5.
5.
And so this was an appeal.
He was given 5. Then he went on the run, and then they had the court case, and he was found guilty and given 2 in absentia.
But do you know what I mean? Is this a case of...
Is there anything else? Is it something to do with the submarine shit that happened with ScoMo? Did we pull out of some subs with France?
We did. And they were bitter as fuck.
Is there a bit of submarine stuff about this?
Well, you put them together.
You put 99 World Cup, play that into a submarine bailout, a reneging on sub deal.
And all of a sudden, Rocky's got 5 years.
Yeah. Rocky's having to hide out somewhere.
Poor old Rocky. Rocky's a scapegoat here.
I wonder where he's hiding.
Well, he's in the UK, isn't he? Or Ireland?
You fuck that. You wouldn't be in...
Wasn't he in Ireland?
Well, there was a yarn he was in Ireland, but I'd be wanting to get
if I'm
further
Rocky,
away.
I'm coming home.
Yeah, so I believe he was in Ireland, but then he realised that they have extradition treaties with France, so he just grabbed his backpack and got the hell out of there.
Don't we have extradition treaties? Or nah? Surely we do.
We'll double check.
I get the vibe we'd give you up in a second, Rocky. I wouldn't come back here.
And he's gone. Where is he gone, I wonder?
No one knows. He was recently on the Mark Boris podcast from an undisclosed location.
Yeah, he joined.
So he's hiding.
Dude, he's fully hiding. This is a global game of hide and seek.
That's so stressful.
Yeah, dude, that would suck.
Christ. What did he say on the Mark Boris podcast?
He was saying that... Yeah, and he wasn't allowed to defend the charges because as soon as he'd step foot back in the country, he'd be put in jail, and it would kind of delay the whole
He was basically like,
court
I am
process.
not coming. He's like, it's much more difficult for me to defend myself from a French prison, which seems self-evident.
We do have extradition treaties with France.
So you wouldn't come back here?
No.
Where would you go?
Thailand or something.
Yeah, Thailand maybe. Bintangs and that.
Southeast Asia somewhere, I'd say. Makes the most sense. Close-ish to home.
Is there any... What about like a Cuba?
Cuba?
I need to go live on the beach. Drink rum, smoke cigars.
Possibly. I think that... Maybe.
Well, I'm just thinking. Place you'd like to live. I don't mind Thailand, but fuck, it's humid. Well, I bet you Cuba's probably humid as fuck.
Oh, I bet you fucking Cuba's hot as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Poor old Rocky. Keep an eye on this, Punters and Dribblers.
Yeah, keep an eye on this.
Thoughts and prayers with Rocky Elsom.
Listen, you may have done the wrong thing, Rocky.
This feels like a French vendetta.
This sounds like a French vendetta, and I am hoping you stay hid. Just keep hiding, bruh.
Stay hid, lad.
Like the Vietnam, getting those tunnels. He's probably too big.
Way too big. But dig him out a bit. Make him thicker.
Yeah, dig him out.
They probably dug them out for tourists.
You'd have to, mate. Yanks going over there wanting to see. There's
Big,
no way.
fat, sweaty Yanks. They would have dug them things out long ago.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they'll be fine.
Probably just trenches now for the Yanks.
Get into a hole, Rock.
The other one is Stewie MacGill, though. He's looking at Priz time, I think.
So he basically just set up a conversation or a meeting with two people?
That is what I believe is to be alleged.
And he got a couple. And he's getting a what? A couple.
Well,
Yeah, so he was found innocent of taking part in the supply of a large commercial quantity of a prohibited drug, but was found guilty of the lesser charge of taking part in the supply of a prohibited drug, introducing allegedly his dealer with his brother-in-law.
Yeah. Now, I need to take a moment to shout out the Daily Telegraph, who I initially called out last Friday, but it was on the Kenty pod, so it would have come out Sunday, that they missed a trick not having their headline be McGuilty, right? Because
Yeah, they did.
it should have been.
Yep.
It should have been, and I think anyone who decides those headlines, the Daily Telegraph would have heard that and gone, we fucked up. But come Saturday or Sunday, they turned things around. And it was something to the effect of, Stuart MacGill's been a very snorty boy. How good's that?
So snorty.
He's been a very snorty boy. How do you you're meant to be a serious, I love it. He's been a snorty boy.
Yeah, he's snorty.
He's a snorty little boy.
He's a snorty little rascal. Mr. Snortstorm.
Yeah, naughty little, snorty boy.
Snorty little boy.
You're doing a bit of English accents.
Yeah, I'm all over them, mate. I'm a DILF.
DILF brain.
I don't have anything to say about that other than fucking long way from a Big Bash League final.
Long way. Yeah.
When the tears were flowing in that magenta, Tom.
Yeah, long way from tears in magenta.
Long way from tears in magenta. He would have been a snorty boy that night.
Tears in Magenta should almost be the Stuart MacGill story. Like if you were to make a movie that
Tears
wins
in
an
Magenta?
Oscar,
Yeah.
it's Tears in Magenta.
Yeah.
The snorty boy story.
The snorty boy story.
Might be actually a good time to do a Grumpy Coffee plug here, Edward, because I don't know who two more grumpy boys than McGuilty and Rockin' a Hard Place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They
I know
could
what
do-
you're saying.
They could do with the Grumpy Coffee.
If anyone needs grumpy coffee, it's MacGill and it's Rocky Elsom.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
For different reasons.
But they both need one.
MacGill probably could do with a decaf.
That's I think so. I think decaf and MacGill.
Decaf and MacGill.
And what the strongest blend you can get, our boy
for
Rocky
Rocky. 'Cause
Elsom.
he needs to be alert.
Who's going to be up all night.
Yeah.
Because he's on the run. You need to be alert when you're running.
Yeah. Whereas if you've been a snorty boy, we don't need you to be any more
We need you to
alert.
go to sleep.
We need you to chill.
Sleep time. Get your rest.
Yep.
Grumpycoffee.com.au, punters and dribblers. Code is SNORTY
SNORTY.
for 10% off. Code SNORTY for 10% off. Give it a try. Honestly, it's fucking great.
Yep.
Rocks up to your house. You don't have to nip down the shops. We love online.
Yep.
Subscribe if you're that sort of cat, which I suggest you are.
D2C sort of stuff.
D2C. Tom and I start the day every day with a Grumpy Coffee. Terrific.
Yep.
Well done, Canby.
Snorty boy or snorty, just snorty.
Just snorty, Tom. Keep it simple.
But that's Australian athletes
Who are fucking up.
fucking up. Fuck, the Tars lost, mate.
Yeah, they did. To the Reds.
They lost quite convincingly.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
It was like 30-something to 15? I can't remember the score exactly, but it was disappointing.
What happened to Perfect Start?
Well, listen, 3-1 is still a great start. Losing to the Reds, there's a part of me where I'm like, if I'm losing on an Australian side and not a New Zealand side, I'm not as actually upset. I am because I hate the Reds. Like, fuck that, rivalries and that. But like, you know?
As in, what's good for the goose is good for the gander?
Bit of the goose gander stuff about that is that long play, every Aussie team playing well.
And our dreaming of an all Aussie final,
Yeah.
although a longish shot, is still, if we're all playing well, it's more possible.
And, Edward.
Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. But what I'm also saying in terms of the goose gander is that we've got a Lions tour coming up.
Yeah.
And so if there's good Aussies playing for Queensland, and there's the Aussies are playing well for the Waratahs, and the Aussies are playing well for the Brumbies, that's quite the gander you start to bring together.
And quite the goose.
It's quite the goose and quite the gander.
So listen, we move on. 35-15. So
Could you just get
bad.
the rest of the results up, please, Tobler? Just real quick.
We move on. We move on to the Brumbies.
The Brumbies.
This weekend.
This weekend, bro, big game.
Huge game.
Tom Wright and that from the Brumbies. Like, oh, they're fucking, those Brumbies can play.
Huge game.
Brumbies can play.
Huge game.
Now, obviously the Waratahs, they lost to the Reds. Chiefs, Blues. Look at this has got to be, from memory, the best scores, like the best week-to-week scores for Super Rugby I can remember recently. And obviously I'm not, I'm getting, this is like me full back in Super Rugby.
Mate, the Crusaders' force game was 55-33.
Highlanders, Hurricanes. But like, look at the Highlanders, Hurricanes, 20-18. Chiefs, Blues, 32-31. Brumbies, Drua, 38-21.
But look at the points scored in that Force Crusaders game.
No, shitloads of points. It's just the brand of rugby. Some of the fucking tries that have been scored, particularly by some of the Kiwi teams, there was one, I was sharing them the stories over the weekend. There was one, this winger who, dude, it was outrageous. This grubber chip he did for himself. He had his foot planted inside the field, his kicking leg out, and he's kicked it around the winger opposing him. Back infield, he burns around him, picks the ball up and scores. I'm like, there's another one with a flick pass, shades of Brett Stuart out the back to Steve Matai against the Tigers or the Eels at some point back in the day, glory days.
One of the great tries.
It's just like the quality of rugby has, I don't know what the fuck's happened. I don't know what's going on, what's in the water in rugby right now, but it is so hot.
Well, Australia got good. That's what I'm saying.
Australia got good.
I mean, you fuck off the Rebels. Cut the fat, Tom.
Cut the fat.
Stop dispersing all the talent. Tighten things up.
Yep.
And you get a better competition. That's what I'm putting it down to.
Goose gander.
Goose gander. Gander goose.
When we talk rugby union on the show, it is thanks to our good friends at Stan Sport.
Better
That's
believe
where all,
it.
that's where all the
Better
games are at,
believe
baby.
it. That's where you watch it.
That's where all the games are, baby.
Stan Sport, baby.
All right, now, Cody Totes, you have got something that you would like to promote.
Yeah.
Promote sounds like it's fucking, like it's a new side hustle. It's a charity.
Yeah. So a good friend of mine, Nick, him and his family are very good friends, family friends with my family, and they're running a great cause at the moment. They've started a charity called Marching for Mark, or a charity event, which is supported by Beyond Blue. Essentially, Marching for Mark is about raising awareness for mental health and suicide. Unfortunately, the Andrews family lost their dad, Mark, to suicide a couple of years ago. But the reason I'm on here is that they run a big day, which is this Saturday, where me and all my friends will march from Palm Beach to Manly and finish at Four Pines in Manly as well, where there's a bit of a bar tab and stuff, and all the proceeds go to charity, essentially.
Awesome.
So it's a great day. If you live on the beaches and you've got a few mates, come down. It takes about 8 or 9 hours. It's a pretty big walk. I think it's 36 Ks, but it's for a great cause.
Solid, mate. Well done.
And where can they donate, if you want to donate?
They can either go through the website through Marching for Mark, which Tobler will put in the show notes, or just through Beyond Blue. But all the info is on the website.
Beautiful. And the link will be in show notes if you want to go donate.
Yeah.
Beautiful, mate. Well done.
Sweet.
We'll chuck
Thanks,
in
guys.
some cash later today for that as well.
Yes, we
Marching for
will.
Mark.
Yes, we will.
Appreciate it.
Well done, Totes.
Stuff. Thanks, Totes.
Righto, is that us?
I think that's us. Shout out to the punter and the dribbler.
Good chats this week.
Good stuff.
Good
Shout
yarn.
out to Reedy. Welcome to the Gossip Guys.
Yep. Shout out to you and I.
Shout out to you and me.
Shout out to DILFs everywhere.
Shout out to DILFs. Shout out to DILFs.
A lot of respect for the DILF now.
Yeah.
Lot of respect.
About time, mate. About time.
And if no one wants to fuck you and you're a dad, stiff shit.
No, if what?
Then you can't be a DILF.
You can't be a DILF if you haven't.
You're just a dad.
Oh, sorry. If you're like an unattractive, if you're a DILF, if you're a dad that no one wants to fuck.
But if your wife wants to fuck you and you're still ugly, then you do want to get. So you are.
No, you're a DILF.
So most of us are DILF.
But what is the reality of the situation is that you've got, your two top dog DILFs right here, right now. Bye.
Bye.
Could you two just not talk anymore?